Yeah, I really don't know. So I mean, there's definitely a bunch of these heroes that maybe we'll see some, but I think we're gonna see a lot of the same. It's like the heroes that weren't touched too much or touched at all, that were popular
Yeah,
and looked good, they're gonna get super prioritized. Like I think Clockwork, I told you about it during the break. I talked
yeah.
about it nonstop at Bali. I was like, this hero is insane. It's so good versus all the meta heroes. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what we get.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I think Clockwork is just a super fun hero to watch in general. Like Hookshot, like Flare, the vision game it provides is just like from a support perspective, just does so much. So
It's
I'm super stoked if that hero comes back.
It's really triggering as well too. So I've been playing pubs. Like I wouldn't recommend ever doing stuff like this, even though they're like pretty high Immortal games. But I'm just doing like Ags, Octarine, Kaya. Like I'm literally just playing around rockets, and I just rocket supports and stuff before team fights. And then they show up to
Yeah,
fights with like 20% HP. If they don't have tranquils, you're screwed. But yeah, I don't know. There's so much. The thing about Clock is he has a lot of potential. He's got a lot of cool things that he can actually provide. But
yeah.
we'll see.
I love that hero. Yeah, we'll see. I will say he is like one of my number. I think he's in my top 3 like least played heroes in all of Dota.
5 seconds remaining.
I love the hero. I just have never played him since Dota 1 for some reason. I don't know why.
He was pretty dope in Dota 1, to be fair. But
The good old Battle Fury days.
looks like we're getting, I mean, just from the start here, a lot of summons bans. I mean, Brood and Enigma rose a lot more toward the end of Bali, and they didn't
Yeah,
get touched. I mean, Brood got touched, but Enigma, I was actually surprised this hero didn't get nerfed a little bit, because I think it really started to show how kind of like OP it was at the end there. Just you're flexing it. Well, you're flexing the hero because it can go in so many roles, but then you can open up melee supports. I feel like there's no other hero as an offlaner that really lets melee supports play. Like these Clockworks, these Tinies, maybe even a Tusk. Enigma opens up your hero pool. So I feel like it's pretty cool.
yeah, I agree. I feel like this hero seems pretty dang strong right now. I would like the. I mean, it's always fun casting like Enigma games as well, but yeah, it is. It's not as like boring as like the old school Enigma where you just constantly sacrifice the lane and then you're just a carry with one less creep every wave. So at least that part of the hero is gone.
Yeah.
You know. But
Yeah, it's
there's your
actually playable.
Clockwork, man. You got
We
it.
get it. We got the clock. We got the clock. We got the IO as well too, of course. Liquid having that one up their sleeve constantly here. Surprised. I mean, Timber did get nerfed a little, but it's always been looked at one of the best IO answers. Even though IO is now universal, it still kind of works the same, where you eat the target and you target the IO, and then you make it so they don't have an IO in the fights. That's usually how Timber wants to play. He just like gets on top of this IO and kills him. But they want to go for a different route here. Potentially, I mean, they're flexing a little bit here, but this could still be the 2 supports. Very unlikely, but.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Snapfire, we've seen a lot in the mid lane. But
Yeah.
in terms of how it matches up with Lesh will be interesting. Like they know, you know, they get their IO Lesh, something we're talking about, something Liquid loves to run if given the opportunity. IO just seems to be right now a pretty strong support. Like you said, kind of just a better version of some of the others. But
Interesting, though.
yeah, it is. I'm curious how this lane matchup goes. Like Snapfire, you have decent lane clear, but I feel like Lesh doesn't really worry about this lane at all.
Lesh is busted right now, honestly. The little change that they did, 90 damage on Lightning. I think Brian talked about it like 100 times in Bali, but it is absolutely super relevant. You can't stop this hero from getting the range creep anymore. Level 1, you could actually like play around it because it was 70 damage. Now it's 90. So Lesh always gets range creep. I think this hero is insanely strong, especially obviously when paired with Io, but we'll see. I mean, maybe they wanted like burst because they have to. The thing about VP is you have to know this is coming, right? You know Liquid is going to IO Lesh you. So I guess
Especially
this
if
is
you
their
see the
response.
Yeah, if you see that first overall IO, you have to know that's Lesh coming in on 8 for sure.
Yeah, so see if this approach works. I mean, it does give you burst damage and a way to isolate the IO, but
I do like their bans that they targeted here on Liquid as well. The Drow as well as the Terrorblade, like 2 heroes that are pretty good at standing their ground against like this IO Lesh.
yeah, I think TB's been kind of traditionally one of the best matchups. Even versus a lot of these heroes that have to like get to him, like the Alks, the Lesh, and stuff. So you just get a zone,
Yeah.
and he has a Clockwork, so it's like the lane's going to be pretty secured. And Drow is kind of similar. Of course, with the hypothermia and everything, does get that other
So
advantage, of course, too. But
Yeah. I was talking to you about this during the break, but I feel like this is just ranged carry patch, right? Like I every single time I've seen a game or played a game, it's like playing melee against any offlane hero right now just feels so unfun and so unbearable that we're just gonna see ranged heroes pop up in like every draft nowadays.
I feel like that, yeah, except for Bloodseeker. I think he's the exception.
Yeah, Bloodseeker
because
is
he
the exception.
he just sustains. You know, he just sits and doesn't really care that he's getting harassed. I think he's the one, not the one, but probably the best melee carry at the moment that just fits in most drafts. So
you would see like people would like in the past would respond to like Beastmaster lanes or stuff like that with like Monkey King, and you're like, okay, yeah, Monkey King should do good here, and then they just lose the lane still, and you're like, what is happening? Like, this just shouldn't work. But
yeah, it's sad to see them all disappear. Like even the Ursas and stuff. We were like, man, Ursa does feel like he can be good in like some of this meta right now, especially with like the morph being really good.
Yeah,
because he can burst, right? You can. There's an option. The hero just takes too long. Like me and Brian were like theory crafting like crazy in Bali, trying to figure out like these morph counters, these Nagik, and it just like everything feels kind of bad. Like, it just doesn't feel good.
All these like melee cores like have to go Battle Fury, or you play for like a blink defusal or something, and then you just if you don't win in 20 minutes, you lose. It's so weird, like how it's changed.
Speaking of blink defusal and stuff like that, Medusa's still in the pool, so there's definitely potential if VP wants to go down a route like that. Because playing versus Lesh, you have a good target for Snake usually in most situations. The draft definitely looks a little, I don't know, looks a little weird right now versus the IO Lesh. I'm unsure about. Kind of just like all in on magical damage, and this is like when your salvo is used already on these 3 heroes, you're definitely gonna have some like limited damage in the mid game. Like you have to pop a hero, and otherwise you lose this fight because the IO's just gonna sustain. So you have to throw everything. I want someone else that does big damage on VP.
I mean, you have heroes like Faceless Void, that you can follow up Snapfire ult and stuff, but against IO Lesh, I mean, I don't know if it's enough damage, and you also have to hope that your core matchup is good enough too.
Yeah, that one's, I don't know. The thing about me with Void is he takes some time, and I feel like Liquid can just stomp lanes and then crush and run over. And Void, his lane is just weird. I feel like I only see 2 players make it work, and it's like TA2000 and Watson. I'm a big
Watson
plays
a really good Void.
They're gonna do the Razor. They did this earlier, so it's all about just dumping on lanes.
I mean, they banned out the Lycan, right? Which was something they flexed earlier between both Mickey and Zai. Like they have no problem moving this between 1 and the 3. And it makes sense. Like this hero didn't get nerfed. He's universal. He can benefit from the stat build.
He ruins Clockwork. I think that's an unplayable matchup for Clockwork.
Oh my gosh, he does.
You literally get you hookshot in or whatever. You cog him and he kills all your cogs and he gets like 160 gold from it. It's actually it's so stupid.
I actually never thought of that.
In lane, you just eat the cogs. You literally just farm cogs. It's really sad. But yeah, then that's a really hard matchup for him. So plus the reason that they played it. They're gonna go for Disruptor. This blue lineup coming out from Team Liquid, sticking to their colors. A strong lineup too.
Very aesthetically pleasing.
Yep.
Like there's just so much. It's just easy on the eyes versus the red lineup on the bottom. Dude, we're actually doing some lore here. Where's VP's next red hero?
And their next universal hero, right? Because right now they've got 3.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
So you got a blue draft versus a universal draft.
Is there any more orangish red universal heroes? There's Beastmaster, Sand King, Phoenix. Those ones all kind of...
That's not. None of those give me what I want. I want damage. I want VP to have more damage. That like it's consistent. That doesn't really give it to me. It's
a decent pick for the Snapfire damage, right? Because you have like the arena into Snapfire, but IO reload, if you don't catch IO, is just gonna save everything.
10 seconds
I don't. I mean, they stuck to the theme of red. We've red versus like literally thematic game right now, but
I'm happy about this.
I'm worried on their they have great team fight on VP. Don't get me wrong. Like with this Mars and the Snapfire come together, but worried for lanes and worried for after the initial go. Like they have to absolutely connect perfectly with these. They have good initiation. They have decent ways of like blowing up one target, but if they don't blow up that target, IO's gonna reset the fight and it looks complicated.
All right, you were talking about your favorite way of playing Clock, right? This Ags Octarine, Kaya build. It's definitely a meme, but it's funny. What do you ever think we'll be seeing core Clockworks come out in this patch, like as a result of the fact that he is universal, benefits from stats really well, obviously, but his spells are pretty strong.
Only maybe
I don't
like
think this
only
match.
an
I don't think
ice
this
ice.
match, but
Only like an ice or some guy that used to love to play it. I don't know. Maybe 9 will bust it out. The hipster mids, the guys that like to play these kind of quirky heroes. Because this hero actually has. That's not a. No, Stormstormer is more the cheesy, the Invoker OD Arc Warden guy.
Okay.
9 is the. I'm gonna throw this game, but it doesn't look as throwy as you think it's gonna be. So I'm gonna pick a Rubik mid, and then it works. So you're like, oh shit, 9's actually mad smart. So.
It's true, true, true. Okay, they actually end up getting rid of the Morphling anyway. This is a hero that I still don't think is bad. Like, they did nerf the Ags, obviously, but in terms of
5 seconds
Morphling as a right-clicking damage-dealing hero, like if you don't go the Aghanim Scepter, he's still pretty strong. They didn't change that part of him for the
True.
most part. So
He could-
I actually don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I definitely could have seen the Morph work. Morph for AM, 2 heroes that are really good. This is probably indicating that that Razor is off lane. Or, I mean, still flexed, but probably going to be off lane because those are heroes that just can match up well versus him in there.
Yeah.
Ways to disjoint from the link. Of course, the Morphling eventually turns into Razor, steals link, etc. So, you see what Liquid's going for with those bans. Well, VP, and they're targeting now to stop, right, to save the break of the initiation because they need their lasso, they need their Marzel to connect like perfectly in these fights. So they're feeling forced to ban out a Legion. It's interesting.
I'd still be okay with them targeting Zai here because like I feel like Mickey would probably prefer to play the Razor in this offlane matchup. So
yeah,
I mean,
no,
especially with
the
the build, like he does so much damage. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the Faceless Void. Never mind.
So they just flexed. Yep. So now it's another. I think their idea is that if now who are you going to blow up? You got to blow up the Void or the Lesh or the IO immediately. If you don't, he has a Time Walk save, and the other one has a relocate save if you don't get that. So this pick I think is actually really good because now they have the Clock SF, which is a super strong lane. I think this kind of fixes things because now even more wombo combo in the team fight. But I highly prefer Liquid's draft. I think VP's is risky.
It's like the ease of execution for these drafts for me is what I'm looking at, and like VP has great team fight, like you talked about. They have Lasso, they have Arena, they have Snapfire. My problem though is if Mickey like doesn't struggle too much in this game and gets like a decent timing on like say like BKB, Maelstrom, and some of these other items, like Shadow Fiend just gets owned by this hero. Like you just can't stand your ground against the Faceless Void. So I'm a little bit worried about that. We'll see how the timings end up working, but Liquid loves to play fast, man.
They do, and I'm worried about the. I think this Void actually can probably get some solid free farm too. Like time dilation versus the Bat Rider is excellent. Your supports don't pose much threat, I would say. You can just time walk out of the clockwork. The Bat Rider initiation isn't clean. I don't know. This looks hard, but I think a lot of for VP, it's going to be on the back of Kirchik. I think this Shadow Fiend has to like go crazy, which he can do. We've seen it happen in Bali, but definitely not the easiest game for it to happen. Once these BKBs are online, this Lash, this Razor, probably not the Lash BKB, but the Razor BKB, all they have to do is stick on the SF. He's all the damage in the draft.
Yeah. And I mean, SF is so much damage. Like if he's left unchecked for some reason, or if he gets off to a really good start, he can definitely start to find these kills. So we'll see how it goes. I love Shadow Fiend. He's one of my absolute favorite carries right now. So I'm a little bit biased and hoping that it does well. But yeah, I'm definitely with you on this one. I feel like Liquid kind of got the upper hand in the draft. We'll see how this one plays off. So we're going to jump into game number 1 here in this best of 2. It is Liquid versus VP. For those of you who are just tuning in, welcome. This is Riyadh Masters. We are halfway through the day. And I'm sure some more great games here to come.
So yeah, red versus blue almost completely too. This is nice. I mean, purple.
Oh my god, you're right. It did end up finishing red versus blue.
It's almost pretty much fully red. Wait, purple, but it's close enough, right, for Mickey, so.
It's
nice.
Yeah, it's like we'll fudge that a little bit,
Yeah.
Blue-ish.
Let's see who's
he had the second tier of the Arcana. Really, this is just Mickey.
That's true.
Not having enough Faceless Void games.
Oh, and they know where the ward is. They're gonna get it right away.
That is a bummer.
Son.
Nisha, come on, man.
Nisha's like, get away from it.
Give me this XP.
Give me
Zai
all
walks
of it.
by and takes the other bit.
Let's see if they can set up here for a kill as Liquid's transitioning over. They're in position.
That's a really good spot from VP. But Zai is too smart, sniffs it out, doesn't fall for it.
He knew. They put a secondary ward in mid.
Battle begins.
They're really
How do you
trying to
feel
get
about that?
I mean, he wants to have the way to, he's playing range to be able to pull and everything like that. It's pretty necessary, I would say.
So one thing I noticed recently, which I'd never noticed before, you can like attack target hero portraits on the top of the map. That blew my mind because I'd always like have to move my camera to like attack command another lane to re-aggro, and I saw someone do that recently. I was like, what?
So I'll tell you the I thought this was going to get changed, and I think this one actually did, but you could target illusions from clicking the top at the start of the patch, just an FYI. I think they fixed that one, thank God.
That one was fixed very quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that one.
But yeah, being able to aggro is pretty insane. It actually is super useful for all these mid laners to not have to pull the camera away. And let's see how top ends up going. FNG's trying to body versus these two range, but...
Dude, I
Dang,
can't
his
believe they
life.
actually get the first blood here. And Boxy, he's going to live. Like, they have way too much damage to chase down the SF. He's got a raise up in one, but the stacks have already fallen, so...
So the way that I see a lot of people mess up these type of lanes versus Clockwork, because the range, the 3 position doesn't help the 4 position. It usually just ends up last hitting. What you want to do versus Clockwork, even versus like the Undyings at times, is you want to trade, you want to hit him together. That's what they actually did it perfect. I didn't think that they would get the kill, but...
Glimpse level 1 too on the Disruptor is like not really what I've expected for like a finding a first blood in that lane, right? But it works. They make it happen.
Bottom, this should be a pretty good lane for Noticed. I mean, it's an IO Void. Very difficult for you to pose any kill threat. For them, killing Mickey, probably not going to happen, but they are slowing him down. Decent creep wave right now.
Now, the Faceless Voids, I think a lot of time I see go for a Midas. Now, I don't know if he's still going to go for that this game as opposed to just going for like an early Maelstrom or something, but
Yeah,
I feel like this is one of the few heroes you can get away with going Midas on.
I'd agree, yeah. I think there's like there's some situations where I saw like Ramses do it on TB, which actually looked really cool too, but there's very rare situations. I think Void is one of the few, yeah.
I could see TB because he's always XP starved, right? Like, he's one of those heroes that farms a lot, but always lacks in XP.
If you're getting a free lane, like the game he did, it was just an absolute free lane, and he was so high level. But yeah, very specific example. Bottom, okay.
Oh, a nice go. The spear off the mark, though.
He cut the tree!
Yeah, I was gonna say he cut the tree.
Oh, he quelling it. That was sick.
Dude, that was smart. It's the only angle he had. It was good stuff.
Up top.
Dude, we have super aggressive side lanes here, and they take down the SF, no problem. FNG just nowhere close. And a solo kill mid from Nisha.
Uh-oh. Definitely not what you want to have starting here for VP. I mean, your lane actually was farming fine, top and in bottom. I mean, bottom's still farming fine, but yeah, now giving up kills like this, that hurts.
I did not expect Snapfire to go down in the mid lane, if I'm honest. Like, this was not a kill I saw coming, but two lightning storms and a split earth caught him, it seems.
Less OP.
Yeah, right?
Less OP. Lightning OP. Too strong now.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Jeez.
What a connection. That's definitely gonna hurt them quite a bit there. Snap getting slowed down a lot here. Oop.
Man, dude, every single time they try to make a play here in this top lane, Boxy just drops the kinetic field and is like, I dare you.
Yeah.
And Zai just throws out plasma field. This is another thing we talked about earlier when we were kind of just talking about stuff before patch. Double ranged off lane.
Yep.
Like,
double range offlane rushing boots. So
yeah.
have fun Clockwork. Clockwork with no boots. This lane is now pretty tough overall. Zai's still not getting the most free farm or anything like that, but you pick this lane to dominate the SF Clockwork, and it's getting shut down. Nisha even maybe looking. Never mind. I was thinking maybe he looks to make an early rotation, but not quite
he
yet.
does actually find Zai here. This is a really good grab. Oh, the glimpse though. Gonna put SF back away, and he did miss that second raise, so I think he's not really finding a whole lot on the Clockwork this game.
No. This is a sad feeling for a Clock. 5 Clock, no boots, playing versus double boots off lane. It's gonna take you forever to get boots. Probably have to save for it though. Bonk back, bottom. Sania, he's okay.
That is like the 4th blood grenade I've seen thrown in this lane from
Yeah.
VP.
And Sania's got a
man.
salve. Oh man, he's gonna keep Mickey all the way back up to full.
Good old
But Mars is
salve,
free farming.
Overcharge everything. Yeah.
That is a nice thing. Is Noticed is getting free farm. So although the other 2 lanes did die, this Mars is off to a phenomenal start. 11 denies.
They're actually CSing super well on VP. Like,
Yeah.
they're down 3 kills, but they are crushing the CS right now. Like, they are doing really well.
Yeah, even mid. A pretty big level of disparity though in the mid lane. Almost a full level advantage here for Nisha for the solo kill.
Definitely, I mean, if you think about the 6-minute rotation for the power rune, I like VP support rotation quite a bit, right? So we'll see if they actually decide to do anything. Zai
Nice
finally
raises.
caught out. The raise does catch him. And Boxy, one more auto attack, does find the kill. He's actually just going to walk away. Boxy's safe.
Alrighty, and he's got the salve. He's able to reset.
Dude, he sees this courier. This would be huge.
Either that or him. I mean, I'm watching the SF's TP. Hopefully he doesn't TP and get glimpsed. Mid,
Oh,
Nisha.
no.
E6. He actually
is
runs
6.
out of mana. Can't quite turn for it.
Oh,
is
he actually glimpsed FNG top, so he's trying to go for a solo kill. Does allow it set up for Zai there, so ends up being worth it.
very worth it.
Now, SF can't show in the lane, really, for a bit.
Lane positioning is... It's okay for the SF, though, at least. But yeah, he can't step up. Too much fear. Too much action happening top. And Boxy even showing up to mid, TPing a very small amount, but just looking for the power rune.
There's a glimpse. Nicely done. Set up here. Perfectly timed on that split earth. But kinetic field, he actually misses. Just barely gets out there. And now it's Insania stuck up on the high ground. Tether in one, but he needs one more auto attack. They got it. FNG picks that one up with battery salt. Nice grab.
Nice play. Good cookie. Little too much patience from Boxy there. On the kinetic field, the cookie gets him over. I think he was trying to maximize.
Yeah. I really looked like it caught him. I was surprised. This is
Perfect
level 6
timing.
now for the Snapfire. So, Mortimer Kisses, ton of damage. All you need is a single cookie setup, and you can probably kill the hero.
Yep.
Top lane, Boxy is going to get caught out here. Melee raise should secure the kill. There's going to be the static link from the Razor, but FNG going to be able to zone him away. So,
Nisha's
nice play
here now,
from the
though.
SF. Oh, yes, he is. FNG's got no help coming his way. Does get a good cogs down. Plasma Field doesn't connect. Okay. That was level 3 Plasma Field. That should have been a kill, but Nisha will be able to chase him down anyway, thanks to the melee creep that tracked him.
And Wisdom Runes, looks like it will be a 1-for-1. Lots of, very kill high game, 6-3, tons of action. And lanes overall, I'm looking at this Mars, and I noticed he's doing excellent. And the snap overall too, even though squad died, almost level 7, and he's still last hitting just fine, so all things considered. A very good start here for VP, and they're slowing down Mickey.
I will say, like, this year I've watched a lot of South American Dota, and Snapfire has been kind of a staple in that region for the last, like, two or 3 years. And one of the things I've noticed is, like, this hero is actually a pretty unstoppable lane hero. Ooh, top lane. See that thought in a moment. Zai thinking of going in. He actually just lacks the mana for the Plasma Field, so they are fine. The question is, will FNG chase down Boxy? Does get the cogs. Shadow Fiend with a quick raise. The Plasma Field does come through. Oh, he misses the raise, though. He's on the run. He will get chased down. Zai on the Razor finds the trade. Batrider making his presence known in the top lane, but another battery salt coming off cooldown there. FNG with a double kill. Nearly level 6 on this Clockwork now. This is huge.
Nicely done. They lose the SF for it, but getting the secondary kill, definitely worth it. Getting a Clockwork 6 early that could be the thing that enables even more so for the Snapfire to get the setup. So definitely a big deal.
That was kind of like what I wanted to say about this hero. Like, Snapfire is a really, really strong lane hero, farmed super well. The only real limiting factor that I've seen with Snapfires in pro games is whether or not it has heroes to play around, right?
Yes.
Like, because if you don't, like, this hero is just a liability. But if you have... Ooh, there's hookshot top. They just go straight for the Razor, and now in comes this IO to try and keep alive. The reload's not being used, but the Mortimer Kisses come through. Big Requiem as well. Zai's gonna fall. Boxy in trouble as well as FNG's trying to finish him off here. With the help of the Batrider, they don't have the damage. The chase will come to an end. Nice cogs there to block off this high ground, but Nisha still wants to get active, and Mickey gets a beautiful chrono right on the mark. The split earth, the follow. They've held down the Batrider. He's trying to finish off the Clockwork as well, going for the deny, but it's not gonna happen. Quick 2 turnaround from Liquid. Good rotation.
Cost him a lot, though, of a rotation. So a good dive overall, I would say, from VP to force that move. Mars just continues to have an absolute free game bottom. So VP, they're making the overall, I would say, the better moves. Mika is forced to come over there, get this chrono off just to get some return kills. I think VP's pretty happy, even though top lane probably didn't go how they wanted. FNG's made up for it in these last few moments. Oh,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just looking at the net worth, right? It's VP with the net worth advantage. Like, all 3 cores pretty much at the top here. And I am very worried about this Mars, to be honest. This guy's going to have an incredibly quick Blink Dagger.
Yeah,
we already kind of have an idea of how good that's going to be. Ooh, mid lane. FNG misses that hook shot, so time to just back away.
Cooking in place, glimpsed in place.
I was saying so many spells thrown for nothing.
Instant smoke though. Look at this. They're trying to be active here. Point is held here by Notice. He's got the arena if he wants to use it. They're scouting bottom.
It's such a nice ward.
Yep. They're trying to punish Zai a lot since he is a bit behind right now. 35 last hits only on this Razor. Fairly fragile.
Oh, the slow from the flare, dude. That was one of the most
Nicely done.
ridiculously good changes.
Great moves.
Yeah.
Great boots of travel now, too. I like that Squad did this instead of the Atos. He had that queued up for a bit. They're being super active. Liquid getting pulled apart all over here. And their drafts are
SF
starting to look a bit
just gained
slower. Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
You know, we were wondering, you know, Liquid's a fast, high-tempo team. You know, they play for these lanes. They get things like Razor, the IO, like the Lesh as well. Like, you would think that they're the ones who should be favored at this point of the game right now, but it is VP that's looking really strong.
It is a Void, though. So that's one lane that, of
true.
course, this one's always going to take more time. Lesh is still farming well, but shutting down the Razor definitely important. Because that lane, like, it did have a couple of these trades kind of back and forth, but so far with what FNG's really done to salvage for the SF, you see how he's recovered? He probably wants to be a bit more ahead than a Void in particular, but with how the lane went, I think he's probably pretty happy. How's the blink timing for Noticed? Very, very close. Let's see how much pressure he can continue putting with it.
This is so fast. Like, if
very
you're playing
quick.
off-lane Mars, you just get like a 12-minute blink, dude. That is... Ooh, that feels good.
And it feels
They're
good to
gonna smoke up
enable. It feels good to enable like squishy like SFs, right? Like if you have a Mars and a Clock as your front line, then Killtrick can even get involved earlier.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
See what they find.
And they won't fall for the illusion.
No, still no blink on Noticed either. So, well, he reveals himself. They know.
Yeah, they really wanted that shield rune. They're like, guys, it's I swear, nothing to see here.
It is a pretty broken rune, to be fair. So.
Oh, it's so good.
It is so busted.
I was so happy when this came out because one of the things I always thought was super weird is there just weren't any like defensive runes in Dota. And it was something I was talking about like before the patch came out. I was like, if we're gonna do a new rune, it has to be a defensive rune.
Yeah, and I like that. And like with that change, also they added the rotating runes.
Rotation.
Yeah,
Dude,
so people
it's
now.
So good.
If you like, I've noticed in my in some of the higher pubs and stuff like that, people are constantly talking about. They're like, "Yo, DD haste next! Like DD haste next! We got to go for the rune." So I like these little changes. That was a while ago, but yeah.
I mean, it makes a huge difference at the pro level. If you can predict what your next rune is going to be, like down to like 2 or 3 runes, like, and it's going to be like a really good power rune for one of your cores, like you have to play for those.
Yeah. These arcane runes for the embers and the storms or whatever, a DD rune for like your tiny haste rune is there's always going to be great examples. VP, a little bit of downtime coming out here, and they're still accruing good money, like the net worth, but you don't really want too much downtime when you're playing versus this Midas Void.
Yeah. It wasn't a super fast Midas, but at the end of the day, like Midas Void, it's going to get a lot of XP. He gets a lot of farm once he grabs the Maelstrom as well.
Yeah, but he's weak. He's very fragile, and they're setting up for him. This could be a good setup. Noticed at the ready.
They have the blink. There it is, the spear right onto the wall, the cookie to follow, and a quick scatter blast. Easy pick off there for VP, and the blink reveal. I mean, this is so fast. Like, you just don't really expect it.
They'll lose their bat for it, though, it looks like.
Yeah.
Liquid, they're set up for it.
Not the end of the world.
Yeah, you got a Void. They showed 4 heroes to kill a bat. Instant pings coming out from VP to mid. He's like, all right. They showed 4 bottom, hit tower. Liquid's going to try to set up for the defense. And he'll be quick to react.
Timing-wise. Okay, so you do have Nisha's Bloodstone. That's a pretty big pickup here. And you do have the mech on the IO. So good sustain now. Could help them in these fights. Could
Foxy
surprise someone.
Can't get the
hook
glimpse.
shot. Yeah, he tried. The question is, do they follow this up? The spear's there, and they do. Okay, Mortimer Kiss is doing a decent chunk of damage, but it's definitely not enough to follow it up. So they will just disengage. A 1-for-1 trade.
Clockwork giving his life for the cause. Good job there, FNG. Making sure his SF doesn't get glimpsed at the least. Does pay with his life, but gets a kill, and forces a Static Storm. So, a little bit of a trade at least. FNG's going Blade Mail. I'm not a fan.
Whoa.
Oh, well, whatever.
I mean, I guess
it's good against
Lesh.
It's Lesh and Razor. Right? It's 2 amazing targets for Blade Mail, but he's a 5-position Clockwork, and there's going to be sustain. Whatever. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I feel like him having like Glimmers and Force is usually going to be a lot more valuable. Maybe he feels like he's having such a good game, but we'll see if it works.
Bottom lane. They got him noticed. He's waiting for that tether. Yeah, he was just aiming for it. He was trying to find the tether reload.
Nice try.
But
2 ults
unable
used,
to
though.
catch it.
A lot of ults being expended now. VP, no kisses. No Mars ult, no Requiem. Can't actually chase for anything forward here. Liquid, I mean, slowing the pace of the game down, waiting for timings. BKB soon on the Razor, and they're actually going to catch this bat again.
Ooh, okay. I mean, you take that. Another solo kill. Or not solo, but another pick off. Mickey just, he wants to play with this Chrono on cooldown, find a kill, and then just go back to farming, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think he wants to be too involved.
Looking pretty dead. Trying to get some sneaky ward down. Wait, what is happening? Okay.
Okay, well, you missed one, but FNG's coming through to help, and the spear onto the wall. Do they have damage to finish him up? He just needs the God's Rebuke and one more auto attack. They got him.
There's reinforcements coming in, though. They took a bit longer to kill Boxy than I thought they would. They might lose somebody on the retreat. No, not going to be the case.
Okay, they will be able to survive. There's some good vision here from both teams, like in these side lanes.
And VP get another catch. They're actually going to lose their Ops Ward. And they saw Liquid place this one, so Liquid should lose theirs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Liquid's content now. Pace of the game is slowing down. Void's getting to farm. Razor's getting to finish a BKB, which is the most ideal item for a Razor this game versus Requiem, Mars, Snap. So they're starting to crew these items. VP, they're still farming well. It's just the concern of the SF versus the Void matchup when Mickey feels at his peak to show up, and he's getting strong. So I want to see VP continue looking for this pressure here. Don't let the pace of the game slow down too much.
Okay, I gotta ask. So, Faceless Void currently has a Linken's queued up. Is that exclusively just this lasso? Because, like, I don't know what else you're trying to block with Linken's this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. There's nothing else.
I'm like, I'm just thinking, I'm like, all right. Oh, bottom lane, they catch Batrider again. Dude, this ward has absolutely owned the VP. It foiled their like arena gank, and now it kills the Batrider again, and they still haven't been able to find it.
I mean, they've killed him 3 times now. Right? The Bat, and he died bottom side once, second time with the Chrono, third time there. Yeah. So even though the net worth, you can see it for VP, I feel like Liquid, they're super content with this. Itemization's coming out. BKB Lesh soon on the horizon too. Like these items are going to break the team fight advantage that I would say VP has in this moment. Like VP's team fight's super strong to those BKBs come out, but once the BKBs come out, that team fight's completely swapped.
Yeah, at that point, you pretty much have to hope your SF doesn't get chronoed, right? Like, that's your only response, is just the physical damage from this SF. And I guess he does go for the Shadow Blade Mask of Madness, so he might be able to kind of hide in the fight until the chrono comes out.
Okay, I mean, this is a risky build, but it can be a high risk, high reward kind of thing where you can find the Void and you can one-shot him, so this could be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good stuff. You'll find a DD here in the mid lane, bottle that one up. Not a huge win there for the Lesh, but at least denying it from, say, like the Snapfire, the SF is really good.
BKBs are online. I think Liquid can just look to force a fight now. Unless they get really caught massively from all VP's ults, or they have a number disadvantage, this looks like a hard fight for VP.
I mean, they know Mickey's bottom here. He just showed on the wave. The question is...
This would be a nice catch.
They're pinging the ward. They know exactly where he's at. Mickey tries to jump away. The hookshot off the mark.
Reload
there it is, though. The arena to follow. And nice Requiem on the backside. Oh, he ends up actually getting a great reload, and they catch the Shadow Fiend. He's gone, baby. FNG on the run now. 2 dead.
I mean, he whiffed the Requiem on the reload. Uh-oh.
Yeah. It was a good attempt, but just barely mistimed it. And now notice he's going to get caught here as well, as he can't escape. Disruptor here to hold him in place, and gonna set up another kill here for Nisha. That's a triple kill for the Lesh. A 4-for-1 at the end of the day.
Oh, super not worth it. Has to be super clean the way you get it. They get the miss on the... I think right when they miss the hook shot, it's like, uh-oh, things are getting awkward, because Liquid, they're fast. It was an instant relocate. They know Nisha's pretty much invulnerable with BKB. And the Requiem, he mistimed it. They didn't catch the 2 of them on the reload. Catches the Void. But, yeah, lets Nisha clean up. And they lose the... they lost the Snap top, too, somehow. Razor, I think Sai just, like, walked him down.
You didn't even have the BKB. That's just like there's no escape. Like, you pop Atos and hope you can TP, I guess. Like,
concerns for VP.
Absolutely. Big wins all over the map. I mean, the Snapfire does scale, right?
Bottom.
This hero does a lot of damage. Oh, yeah, bottom. Okay, wait a minute. Lesh.
Bloodstone.
You gotta be careful. He does have Bloodstone. Lasso is out. The damage from this Mortimer Kisses might be enough to finish him off. He's trying to turn him back around, and he can't escape. Boxy. He'll survive, but yeah, good TP down from squad.
That's a massive kill. Look how much gold he just got. He's actually like jumped up way ahead of his SF now. And yeah, you know what? You might be right. You might be onto something. I might be disregarding the Snapfire scaling potential a bit here. Because he is getting this really good farm.
He went for an early Maelstrom. So he
Yeah.
finished Maelstrom first, went back for this Atos. He has Gleipnir done, and now components to BKB will be next. But I mean, this is a hero where if you get to, you know, your level 20, let alone your level 25, like, this hero does damage.
Oh, it's definitely true.
But we'll see. It's easier still to execute on Liquid, right? And I think that...
Yeah, especially because the BKBs. But if they can keep the distance, like if one of these two doesn't get chronoed, perhaps if the snap does get continued scaling like that, that could be big. I like that they take the risky plays too. Like I like that he goes for the Shadow Blade and stuff like that on VP. Okay, he's also just gonna triple BKB cores versus the heavy team fight. Insanio solo crest to buff up his boys.
I love it. It's just real straightforward.
Oh, and they actually see the SF right now. And they are smoked. This could be a difficult position for him. He does clear the camp fast. He actually has to raise for that one to get away.
Shadow Blade away.
I was like, that was
he knows
scary.
Something's up.
Yeah, that was good awareness. They're getting kind of sandwiched down here.
Yeah. I think you just give this tower. You do not have the TP response right now.
No. Looks like you will be able to take away a Wisdom Rune, though. It looks like Squad. He does see it on the far left there. He's going to be able to take it. Ooh, they see the Tormentor.
But you can't Tormentor with two heroes, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
So,
unless it's like a Healing Ward Jug or something like.
Ooh, Squad gets the Wisdom. They scan it, so they know, you know, someone just took it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Roche will be the attempt, but Flare comes out immediately from VP.
Did they get there in time?
I was gonna say, I feel like you want to fight, but the triple BKB, is it too difficult to play into?
I think it's just, I think it's too difficult to force a fight there. I like them making a change from the Lincolns. You were mentioning, I'm like, they're very strange Lincolns. Can FNG get the steal?
Oh, dude, this would be so sick. Oh, no, nice positioning there from the Razor. So FNG is gonna go down.
How many, so I have a question for you, a little trivia thing. How much less do you think we've had steals of Roshan now that it's in the corners? I feel like I never see it stolen anymore.
Dude, it's substantially less. You literally have like 50% less avenues to try and steal from.
Yeah, that's how exactly what I was thinking. Even with the Storm Spirits and stuff like that, I feel like I never see Aegis get stolen anymore.
Yeah, it's like heroes like Clockwork. Usually you'd be like, well, he's probably hooking from this way, but you don't know for sure. But now it's like, okay, he's literally hooking from one of two directions. Like... It's so sad. I really hope they move the Roach pits again. Like it's one of my biggest complaints.
I just hate the clips,
new map.
The areas, the gates. I don't know. There's something about them that bother me, but good scan. Does catch out Liquid. VP will be able to back up and chill a little bit here. But again, don't know how much back up and chill really feels good when you're playing an SF carry into a Void lineup. Even with the Snapfire scaling, that could be the X factor, but definitely doesn't feel easy for Squad by any means.
Dude, despite this Batrider having a ton of, like, getting picked off a lot, he has a ridiculous amount of farm. He has Blink, Force, and Drums.
Pretty good.
He's chilling. And that's, like, a very scary hero that could potentially initiate some fights. Noticed.
He's in trouble.
He has no TP. He is just dead. He's going to drop the Arena, but there is no way you're getting away from this Razor. That is BKB and Arena down.
Oh, I guess thinking that maybe he can just waltz away with BKB, but the cutoff is there. Yeah. That hurts. Tier 2 to drop from mid, Tier 2 drop top, and they could even potentially set up for bottom. Looks like Seiyu wants to maybe try for Zide that he has no BKB, but I think that's a very risky move.
Yeah. Alright, well, good pickoffs, good, I mean, plays from Liquid. They get the mid Tier 2, you know, right before that as well. Boxy takes the gate up to the top lane. He was looking for the Shadow Fiend, trying to set something up. There's no reload, which is weird, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, they always have the potential if they have reload to do that, but I mean, Nisha's doing some flank maneuver here with this Invis. He's on the hunt. Or maybe he's just looking to farm this camp and he's just going to run into a Snapfire, okay?
Dude,
what?
I still can't believe Couriers can take the portal. That's nuts to me.
I have a funny story about that one too, and looks like we do have time for it. The pros did not know that in Berlin, and I was outside with Sumail and a couple others, and I was like, all right, y'all, I got to tell you guys this. please stop sending your couriers across the map. It can use the portal. And they're like, no, no way. I think Celery was there too, and they're just like, what?
Yeah,
Because I saw them
it's so
suiciding
nuts.
these couriers, and I was like, guys, I can't cast another game of watching suicide and couriers.
There's been like games when I'm playing like bottom lane FNG. Koch does get the cogs down, spear and a hook shot away over to a Shadow Fiend. Okay, that might not be too bad. Notice though, in some trouble. Does have BKB the blink out. He's safe. FNG TP's out as well.
Up top.
Good disengage, but yeah, top lane Mickey. And just to find the Snapfire, he's holding the chrono, but will end up dropping it. And with the reload in from Nisha as well, easy kill here onto the Snapfire.
I mean, I'm impressed that VP is keeping up with the farm, but they're just everywhere I'm looking. They're just getting hunted. They're getting decimated on the map movements.
They really are. Like, there's just nowhere that's safe, it seems, because of this like reload plays potential.
Yeah, they're fast to move around the map too. Like Zai, he's 470 movement speed, so he's even like setting up these ganks himself as just a razor running at heroes. They're getting too much VP. They have to get something together here soon, or this is just quickly gonna. I mean, it's already been kind of falling out of favor quickly in this game, but they have to group up. They have to get some fight, bait some BKBs, and get a fight. Perhaps after the Aegis goes, but there's so much space that Liquid's gotten in these last, like, it feels like the last like 7-8 minutes.
Dude, they could just at this point be waiting high ground. Like, I think that is still probably something that they're really favored for. Oh my gosh, they actually just catch the Shadow Fiend anyway. He's gonna try and TP on home, the glimpse there to cancel it, and Boxy nearly dies, but dude, how did they actually know about this?
They're just set up all over on the map. I'm not sure how they even find him, but they're everywhere. They're on all 3 lanes. And like you said, you have AP, they have got good team fight and stuff on high ground, but you have to be able to get out of your base. Now, it really does feel like they're going to be stuck.
Maybe they just scanned him running down the lane, and they just, like, guessed he'd be in the trees there. I don't know.
I guess it maybe, yeah. I didn't see that they scanned. Good call.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But, I mean, their high ground is still really good on VP, right? You have Blink Spear back, you have Lasso, you have Mortimer Kisses. Like, they can definitely defend high ground.
Bottom tower.
So maybe Liquid's going to be a little hesitant to try and deal with that, but...
Or maybe Liquid just farms the map.
Yeah, exactly. So
they have a
that's
good
the thing. It's
scaling
like,
core. Yeah.
maybe they just farm, you know?
Yeah.
What can you do?
Because at this point now they have triple scaling core, like super scaling cores, as we've seen. Lesh scales really hard. Void is a great counter to SF. SF's timings are kind of gone. I think this is what they have to do on VP. You have to smoke, look for a fight, because if you don't get some type of big fight soon, this game is just completely washed. It's completely Liquid. Let's see what they find. They see the courier, so they have
You're
some
going to see the
info.
courier. I mean, haste DD on your faceless void. Oh, man.
And Chrono's back up in 10. This could quickly be disastrous for VP.
Let's see. Well, that's a good word here. Trying to look for vision. That will give them vision of the faceless void. It's got to be the Batrider, right? And there it is, the blink, the lasso onto the backside, the spear to follow it up, the Requiem is out, and they burst them down. Mickey is gone. There's the arena as well from Notice. We'll be able to block off Zai and trap Insania inside as he did not bring his boys. Was just hoping to save him.
SF.
It's not going to work. SF, though, yeah, caught on the backside, tries to TP out, he's gone. Zai and Nisha chase him down. Notice with a nice spear, the Mortimer Kisses as well are there, but the BKB comes out. Zai holding it the whole time. He's doing a lot of damage, but he's falling pretty dang low. Nice Static Storm, Kinetic Field, trapping this Snapfire in place, but Notice will finish off.
Here's
That's
Nisha.
Zai Razor one more time. Squad on the run. Nice cookie down to the low ground, but Nisha trying to chase these heroes. He actually can't keep his hands on it. Boxy just gets shredded.
Nice
A beautiful
kiting.
win from VP. They're just ignoring the Lesh.
They're just kiting the hell out of him.
They've got a spear. They might be able to do something here.
He's got Bloodstone.
Oh, noticed. He
Bad
didn't
idea.
get the spear out. Oh no, Nisha's looking for more. Does he get the vision?
He's too
Dude,
fast.
He
You
is
can't
too
run.
fast. Oh no, hooked up comes through. FNG's here. He's gonna sacrifice himself. He gets the blade mail. Maybe this is the play. The damage from those little shredder hits. It's a lot. Squad
He's got
gets him. All right, FNG. I see you.
That was pretty sick. They danced on him for a minute, like literally a minute.
A
Look how much
literal
damage
minute.
this Snapfire did. I think he got like 4 salvos off of his little shredder.
5.
That was 5. Sorry, 5. You're right.
Holy heck.
That was really well executed. They get Mickey at the start of the fight. They kite things. That was honestly a pretty damn good fight from VP, all things considered.
All things considered, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things, like, you managed to take the Faceless Void out of the fight immediately. Looked pretty good, you know?
Yeah. I just don't know how this SF. I mean, the Snapfire is doing great work, but you know what this SF did in that last fight? He actually did nothing. He got stunned by Lash and then started TPing out immediately and just gets killed. I don't know how he plays the fights. It's actually too difficult. They isolated Nisha with the clock hook shot at the start of the fight because I think we were looking at the right side of the fight initially. I was looking at left, and they actually did a decent job of almost stealing Nisha, and then Nisha just gets the stun on SF and SF dies. So his game is still difficult, but Squad is doing a good job of at least carrying the torch right now. Almost 20 as well. Maybe he's the saving grace, like you said.
Man, this will be this will be fun, man. I really hope that we get some more fights like that because that was absolutely wild. I do worry still though. I do still really worry for VP because Mickey, he is going back for the Lincolns. He's like, all right, I'm never getting lassoed again.
Yeah. No, I mean me too. It's really nice fight that they just do that without an SF at all. Like literally, he didn't even he did nothing. So. Bottom, can Seiyu get away? This is a big pick if Liquid gets it. They even see Noticed here.
He is trapped. He has BKB. He has Sealed Totem as well. If he can get the BKB off, we'll have to throw the spear. Doesn't end up catching Nisha. Sealed Totem away, but he gets glimpsed. It actually doesn't connect.
Not timed.
Not timed correctly, but Noticed still trapped as Zai will wrap around.
Honestly, better than losing the bat in that situation, as weird as that sounds, because Seiyu had the gem that was stolen, so... it sucks that Noticed had to use BKB and stuff, but if they lose... either way, it sucks. But losing your gem back right after you get it is painful as Liquid. I mean, they're just coasting, looking for kills.
Girtich? Requiem? They're going to get the lasso here onto the Isle. There's going to be the fear. The Requiem comes out, but Insania is just so tanky.
He's too tanky.
He's going to grab him with the Halberd as well. There's the Chrono. They've isolated the Shadow Feed. He goes down. FNG on the front side does manage to help find a kill there onto the Io with Zai. Forces back the Snapfire. The question is, can they get FNG? The Glimpse sends them right back into the hands of the Faceless Void. It's a 3-for-1 trade. Without a lasso for the high ground, it is not going to be easy.
It took him for... This is an IO with 29 armor and 2k HP. This SF tickling him, actually. Survived so damn long for his team to get there.
Dude, he just does not have the item progression. Like, he has really not been able to find a lot of farm this game. Like, he's sitting on this Silver Edge, Hurricane Pike, Mask of Madness. Like, the Pike doesn't feel like it's done much for him.
None of it really does, actually. Like, I'm happy to see that he still takes like a risky play to go for Silver Edge and stuff like that, but we're not feeling any of the effect of the SF this game. They've completely answered him.
All right.
20 on Void. Well, 21 in fact on Void. Lincoln's done. Roche back on the menu. 20 talent hit on Void. 20 talents actually hit on all 3 of the cores.
They do know about this. They have another ward placed here that does scout it, and there is a flare coming. But without your SF, man, no Mortimer Kisses either. Yeah, they're just going to let this one go. Roche number 2 is going to be Liquid's favor.
Into triple BKB cores. Suicide walking in there.
And
I think Squad's got a... I like it. I was going to say, it's Rapier time, baby. It's all up to Snapfire.
Yeah, Daedalus done with your level 20 talent. I mean, this hero does a lot of damage now, but yeah, you're right. I think, you know, Rapier, that's your only real choice in terms of defending the high ground at this point.
It's 25 in Rapier. Because right now, yeah, if they can burst one target, maybe. But it's got to be pretty perfect, and it has to have, like, the IO has to be controlled, because the IO can just have their cheese. So, he needs more time. He needs 25 talent to have any hope. And it is quite a bit of hope.
All right, we'll see what VP can do here. Maybe they catch Liquid off guard here. They're playing quite smart. Ooh, Seiyu. He went for it. He tried to throw the lasso there, catching Nisha. Would have been nice, but...
That would have been the time to get it, because Relo is still down 30, so...
Yeah.
Nice attempt.
Radiant are scanning.
And trying to farm. Looks like the SF trying to desperately get a Scotty to have at least a little bit of an answer versus the IO heals, but, you know, as we know... that Scotty doesn't go through BKB anymore, so it doesn't actually really work versus the Lesh if he pops BKB, but when it's not on, you know. If he even gets to that point.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's still pretty far away. He has to hold buyback almost guaranteed. I mean, they smoke out of the base, and they're going to get aggressive. They get the lasso. They find the Disruptor, the IO actually trapped inside the arena, and goodbye, Disruptor. Nisha getting shredded as well. And comes Zai. There's the Chrono catching 2 on the backside, though. And Shadow Fiend in trouble. Mickey chews through him. 4 staff away. Squad cannot escape. Double kill for the Faceless Void. And the answer to the SF seems to always be there.
Yep. The chrono just lands perfect every time. And Tana doesn't even die. He actually gets initially grabbed by Notice, but Notice doesn't get the damage to go through this tanky IO, who then cheeses Nisha all the way back up to full. VP feels like this was kind of inevitable unless they played perfect in this game. But they did a good job of keeping up with farm. That was one thing that I was actually quite impressed with this one.
Alright, I like it. They go for the tier 4s, force the second fortification, and VP in trouble. I mean, they committed pretty much everything, right? Arena,
That's game.
Lasso.
That's game for sure.
I don't know how you do anything.
Yeah,
So.
they can just end it.
Go for maybe one last hurrah, but yeah, Spear comes out. Blade Mail not even close to having the damage there. Buybacks coming through as well. Nisha maybe respecting it for the moment, but he is so dang tanky. Notice gets the Seal Totem away, but Zai just blinks in right on top of the Shadow Fiend Force Staff into the base, but the double lasso pulls him into the base. Can they actually finish off Zai? He buys out a Ghost Scepter as he's trying to survive, pops the Manta. Isn't enough. Zai will finally die. But the throne, it is falling. Nikkei, he wants to close this game out. This could be the Blink the Spirit back, but a nice Static Storm there to zone them away. Notice the good 4-hero arena. The time lock on forward. It's just too much damage. Liquid, they're too far ahead. And it's only a matter of time here before the throne will fall and VP. They're going to drop game number 1.
And now the question is, what's the strategy going to coming into the game 2? Will they get rid of the IO? Or will they come in with a different kind of plan? I mean, I think they did a good job of farming and stuff like that in this game, but just felt very difficult. You have to stay ahead and get ahead and stay ahead so much in this draft versus this Void matchup, and it just feels difficult when it feels like the onus is on you to make all the aggressive moves, and there's this IO relocate that's always like bringing the numbers. It felt really hard for VP, even though they farmed well.
Yeah, the thing that is interesting is like this was a 24 pick SF, right?
It was.
So it's like we know the matchup in a Faceless Void is not great, but maybe the idea was to just snowball early. Was there any other cores or any other carries you can think of that like might have been able to like do a little bit more this game?
I'm not really too sure about that. I think overall they just, if you're going to go for the Clockwork SF, even though I think FNG did really good after the first like 3-4 levels, I think you have to have the first 3 levels kind of go well for the SF. This is a hero that kind of wants to get an advantage and play with that advantage overall. And I think Liquid just understood what itemize. I think it's you know, they're obviously one of the best teams in the world at the moment, but getting these triple BKBs, kind of just being patient and then looking for fights, that felt like it was a great answer versus VP's team fight draft.
I will say one thing that was super cool this game, like, is just he's Zai, and Zai is just able to run down anyone with like a really nice like deep blink into these heroes. And of course, like Faceless Void, he has a free game. Like anytime that you are on Virtus.pro and you like start the fight and it's not on this Faceless Void, you're just gonna get chronoed.
Yeah. I mean, it's just Liquid. Yeah, Liquid just very good understanding of how to play the game, and VP got to play cleaner. I mean, their draft, it could have worked. I actually was very impressed with how they, like I said, with the farm and stuff like that, but these mistakes, you can't make it versus a team like Liquid, not a team like Liquid when they're given IO.
Yeah. So do you think you start prioritize banning the IO against Liquid? Because they've picked this up pretty much every opportunity.
I feel like,
so
why
far
not?
in this tournament, right?
Why would you not, right? Because if they're just gonna... Because what they actually banned, they banned... I can't even remember. I know there's a lot of summons. They banned like Brood and Enigma, I think it was. Or was
Brood,
it?
Enigma were banned.
Chen Rubik. So maybe.
Chen Rubik, yeah.
Are you that afraid of the Chen? I don't know. I feel like I'm more scared of Liquid's IO than their Chen. But
man, that was such a fun fight. Just watching them kite Nisha around. It was. I mean, that was one of those fights where you're like, okay, wow, looked very good, but then here's kind of how the rest of the game goes, right? Like,
yeah.
you try to burst out a Euro, 2-Euro Chrono, cheese. That's rough.
I had damage concerns, and that's one big thing I will go back to for VP just overall throughout their draft. I think the last pick, the SF, he provides that damage, but if his game gets a little rough, then it's like, all right, now Snapfire has to be that damage dealer. It's too much pressure. So yeah, I think overall their draft definitely looked a little bit harder to execute overall versus a team that's just gonna build triple BKBs. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens in game number 2. Overall, a good attempt from VP, but Liquid still looking pretty dang strong. So we'll be back after just a short break. Everyone stay tuned for more here on the Riyadh Masters. We'll see you in a bit.
Open your eyes.
When you look into my eyes, tell me what do you see?
Tonight, I'm gonna show you the wonders of the mall.
Hey, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose.
I need warriors.
So is this what you want in? You want a war? Show me what's up then. I'll be ready to bust in. Take everything, leave 'em with nothing.
There is a place where you can elevate what's hidden inside, where you can reframe yourself. Sonomi means the new you. The you can step into. Because when we know who we really are, we become unstoppable. Enter new dimensions of you. Sonomi.
I had a say where I'd run to, where I would lay, if time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I belong. If time were to stand still, if I had a say where I'd run to, where I would lay, if time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. If time were to stand still, sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I belong. Sure as the sun, rain or shine, I know where I
Hey everybody, and welcome back here to the Riyadh Masters. My name is Cryptic. I'm here with Fogged, and pretty convincing game number 1 between Liquid as they continue to kind of steamroll these play-ins right now. They are looking very strong, and VP, man, it's a rough day 1 for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one for sure. First 15 minutes though, I would say it looked good in like the mid and the bottom, but I had my concerns a lot for the SF throughout the game if they didn't play it like super clean, super confident, and I'm still having some concerns. I don't know, that hero, like you said, I love SF. I like seeing it, but it's got to be in someone who's like this cocky guy, like Parker. I feel like he's perfect for it. You know, he's just like this young, super flashy kind of guy that just has so much confidence in it. So I don't know. I think it's a tough hero to make work in a lot of situations, but do have some signs of hope for VP because even though they're getting, I mean, for me, they were getting kind of smashed and outmaneuvered the whole game, they were keeping up in farm. So they do know at least how to like move around and stuff like that. I think it's just maybe the IO is one of those big things that tripped them up a lot. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can find a way to address these draft advantages that Liquid somehow just keeps managing to come ahead with. And if they do, I could see a much closer game number 2. But dude, a lot of these top Western European teams, they just seem to have too deep of a hero pool. Like there's just a lot you have to worry about. There's a lot less like super OP stuff in this letter patch, right? That you're not like necessarily absolutely required to ban like we saw in the previous patch, but it still just seems like Liquid have so many different options.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna, but like I feel like if you're gonna give up like IO, like at least ban Lash or something, right? Like I feel like that's just like that is at least get rid of something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overreacting to it so much, but I feel like we saw the literal Bali finals become about like the whole tournament was about like this Morphling Nagas, blah blah blah. The finals became about IO Lash, right? Yeah. Came about like this. So I feel like you have to put more attention. And if you're a team that you know, I don't know. I don't have any scrim information, unfortunately, about like these, how they've been doing and everything, especially for VP. But if you're VP playing, you're like bottom seed kind of versus top seed, you got to have some good strategies for it. So let's hope they have something.
Yeah. I mean, I remember an interview with Quinn, like literally 2 majors ago, like 2 major tournaments. It was like Dream League. And then I think it was after the Berlin major or something. He was talking about the fact that like, yeah, if anything, we could always just pull out IO Lesh and it's always strong. And teams just keep forgetting about how good this combo is.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was last finals. Once again, they're just like, yeah, we'll just go back to IO Lesh again. Why not?
Yep.
All these other heroes are banned, and every team seems to be super comfortable playing these. So
yeah, I feel like people just kind of forgot that Lesh has been buffed. It got like nerfed a lot and then got buffed again completely. And now you can just, Lightning is insane. Level 1, so you're good against, there's like, I don't know what's actually like a lane that beats Lesh. I actually was struggling to think about it when we saw it at Bali so much, because I don't know. The old answer was like, what, Sniper, right? That's what people were theory crafting. It was horrible. Sniper died both games I saw level 1 to Lesh. Literally level 1. He got killed by Lightning Storm. So I don't know. I think there's got to be some other solutions if we're gonna see it this much.
You would see like certain lane dominators, right? You on paper, you're like, okay, maybe we can do something like this. You think the heroes like Queen of Pain, heroes like Lina, but Lesh has so much reach with Lightning Storm now that you tried to use these spells like you normally would use to harass, like Dagger or LSA, and it's like you're gonna take a Lightning Storm, maybe a couple auto attacks, and another Lightning Storm.
Yeah,
and it's
that was the best one, Lina, right? Lina
Yeah.
was the absolute best. Lina and TA, I think, were them, but now it's just doesn't feel like it's there.
Forgot about TA, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And then you're TA versus Lesh in the game, so it's like, your lane might be okay, and then you're like, oh my god, like, I'm just getting ran down. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Edict.
We'll definitely have to see what solutions happen, and this pony is gonna get really popular.
I feel like Lina as a spellcasting build is still somewhat viable, but yeah, I feel like one of those things is like it takes a while. It's again another hero that like you have to get Aether Lens, then you have to get like Aghanim Scepter, and then like a Blink Dagger or a BKB, and it's like, do you have enough time to farm these types of items? And it's like, are you griefing your other heroes by spending so much time farming? Like
what I've noticed with these Linas is you're just a one-trick pony. You throw your thing, and then let's say you're playing versus an IO, he just clicks mech, and it's just like, oh my god, I'm useless. What if my Aghanim just doesn't? Yeah, I don't know. I actually I wanted to see more Lina, and then the 3 games I saw it at the major, it was horrible. I actually thought it was gonna be good. It just didn't look good at all. People just know how to play versus it, and you have to ban to protect it. It's like if you give Rubik, it's like, oh great, now we're playing versus Rubik with Light Strike all game. So I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of options, right? And especially I think Wind Ranger was just super popular, and this is just like a hero Lina can't play against at all.
Yep.
Like you never hit LSA. She's just perma hasted running around. Like it is such a miserable matchup. Yeah, I mean, we'll see like what they come up with. We're having a little bit of like lobby issues for those you're wondering, so you can blame Fog tonight for not starting the actual game, just a heads up.
Okay.
But we'll get there in a moment. I don't know. It seems like, yeah, Lesh might just be too strong. The buff to Lightning Storm, I didn't think about it initially, but when you point out the fact that you always get the range creep,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
It's I don't know. I thought it was going to get nerfed. I legit thought it was going to get reduced, but I guess it happened too far
Didn't
toward
get
the tail
picked
end of
enough.
ball. It didn't get picked enough, so I don't know. I think we'll definitely see. And maybe we'll see better answers for it, though. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe just not worried so much about the lane. You go for things for the game for it. Because the Snap actually did okay, but Snap also got solo killed, so I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Tough question.
There's like heroes that I would like to see getting picked as like being decent into the Lesh. I mean, of course, Anti-Mage like comes to mind as like a hero that should be pretty good on paper, but when you have an IO, like you just don't have any ability to play into that matchup.
No space.
Another hero that I want to see is Muerta, but this is one of those heroes that like can't play because Blade Mail exists.
Yep. Blade Mail owns her, getting on top of her owns her too, so it's like, yeah, that definitely hurts quite a bit there with Lesh. I don't know. I mean, Muerta, I don't know. I hate that hero. I swear to God. Me and Owen have like, I super hate for that hero for some reason.
Really?
Every game
okay.
we see for it, I've seen like 2 games where it's like, man, this looks good, and then like they like divert their build. It's like either they go like a crit or a moon shard, right? Like second, third item. It just takes so long. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hating Muerta.
She is super farm heavy, right? She's like one of the most item dependent cores, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And she doesn't farm as fast as heroes like the Naga Siren or the Terrorblade, which are like these ultimate late game heroes. And
you have to show yourself. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why these Nagas and TVs
that's
will
true.
always be so relevant in Dota, is that the fact that you don't have to show your hero. You're farming. They don't know where you are. Muerta, it's like, she's farming here. You know, it's so, well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. She's a cool hero, man. I love like just the design of the hero overall.
Same.
I think it is super cool that we get a hero like her. And I want her to be more viable, but I swear I played her recently and like a clockwork built a Blade Mail in my game, and I one-shot myself.
Yeah,
And, I
and you
was
can't
like,
control it.
I wasn't even attacking him. Yeah,
Exactly.
it was sharpshooter, just hit him twice and I died, and I was like, all right, that's cool, I guess. Like, just instantly dead. I was like, well, this is a problem, guys.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of heroes that I want to. I'm glad I'm seeing, like, this is another example. Like, I'm glad I'm seeing Invoker. I think we're only going to see BZM and Stormstormer play it, because I think the hero is quite garbage at the moment. But I'm glad to see people at least like trying against all odds.
Yeah, we woke up this morning, looked at the games, like Invoker's been picked 4 times. What is going on? Like,
And then we
how
looked
is
and
how
saw
is this happening? Yeah,
we saw Stormstormer and BZM. Like, okay, that makes more sense. But
it makes sense, I guess. Okay, yeah, I mean they are definitely specialists on that hero. They're going to pick it when they can. But
yeah,
I don't know how the hero could be played. Like, I don't understand how it's good. It feels so slow.
yeah. I mean, the new build is kind of cool. The Arcane Boot Midas disassemble into Octarine. I think that's the one thing that maybe makes it a little viable. But you just lack timings. So you're like kind of strong in the early game, I would say. But then it's like in the past, you'd hit the 20 timing. You get Chaos Meteor damage, you get Blink Hex, etc., and you have ways to pick people up. You don't have timings. That's my concern.
Yeah. Dude,
Every time I
look. Gosh. Man, the change to the Meteor was so brutal.
Yeah, it's just sad. The cooldown is so long, you can't even farm with it anymore. The shard doesn't do anything. Like,
Okay, how do you feel about the EMP shard? Because this is one of those things I was like, I saw it get added, and I thought to myself, I was like, this could be super cool, but I think the rest of his kit just feels underwhelming, so I don't know.
So, I'll unfortunately share thing, but I've been playing a lot of support Invoker. It's absolutely really bad.
No.
But I like to play it because it's one of my. I actually am on a 5-game win streak with it. I shouldn't be, but anyway.
Okay.
There's definitely potential, I would say, to this EMP thing. I just think just not enough for a shard, and it's not good as a core. That's where it's like I'm like, okay, this is cool as a support, but as a core, you don't have a shard time. You just lack timings, so it's just weird. But the little neat thing about it is it does show in fog. If you don't know that, like if you throw the MP into a fog fight, you actually see the black tracing of heroes getting pulled into it. So you can actually like scan. There's some things with it for sure, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Needs more love.
it definitely does. I mean, Invoker's my second most played hero somehow, so it is one of those things where it's like, I do really like this hero. I would like him to be back in Dota. I think he's always going to be super interesting. But yeah, kind of a rough time for him at the moment.
I think he's my most played. I think on this
Is
account,
he really?
On this account showing, I only have 500 games, but I have a couple thousand games on Invoker. And you know the other annoying thing, ready? I shouldn't say it. Whatever. The Arcana has a slower projectile than the Kid Invoker. Actually attacks slower. The projectile
Like-
hit. The projectile, I think it's like a delayed hit or something compared to large invoker. So you're actually griefing yourself playing the kid invoker.
I never knew that.
Uh,
Okay.
I tested for like 30 minutes or 45
Do you remember
minutes.
when the Razor Arcana came out and he actually benefited as a melee hero from like a bunch of melee on hit modifiers?
You know he still can hit Mars through Mars Arena if it's
Yeah,
like
he can
melee
still
range.
hit through Mars Arena. It's like
Only
one of
with
those.
only with the set though. Only if you have the
Yeah.
set. Yeah.
Well, because they like what they gave like the sword like it changes from the whip to the sword in melee range, and
Yep.
so it's like treated as a melee attack.
Queen of Pain is the same with her set. Yeah. They
Yep.
both. If you're literally against the wall, you can hit through it. But yeah,
Yeah, it's very
super
weird.
bizarre.
Yeah, I loved initially when it first came out, he like got melee Scott, like he like or not melee Scott, he get like the effects of Basher and like stuff like that in melee range. It was actually really funny.
We're stuck, right? I'm still stuck loading lobby. I don't know.
Oh
you
yeah,
are.
my
Okay, good.
game says 3 minutes in queue for the lot. I think the
Okay,
server
good.
crashed mid draft or something.
Okay. I thought maybe it was
So-
just me.
No. But yeah, it looks like I think they were bouncing back and forth between some servers, and the like one set of servers died, so we tried a new one, and then this server died. So we might just throw to a quick break, everyone, and we'll be back once we get a lobby up and running. So stay tuned. We'll be just hopefully a short break. We'll see you all in a bit.
If I had a say, where I'd run to, where I would lay. If time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. If time were to stand still, still. If I had a say, where I'd run to, where I would lay, if time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I belong. If time were to stand still, if I had a say, where I'd run to, where I would lay, if time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. If time were to stand still. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I belong. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Riyadh Masters. I know you've been patiently waiting. We have as well, but we are finally into the game. It is Virtus.pro versus Team Liquid here. Game number 2.
Yo.
Apologies for the delay. Unfortunately, we had some major server issues, but it has finally been resolved, and it is time to watch some Dota. My name is Cryptic. I'm here with Fog. Super excited. So talk to me. What
They took it!
has not changed from game number 1?
They took it though. All right, so this is probably what they discussed the whole time. They're like, do we take first pick, second pick? How do we want to ban? Boom. Okay, answer is gonna be, we ban Timber, we take the IO, take Liquid out of their comfort slightly, of course. And does VP overall? Let's take a look at this year. I know FNG plays in the past, but do
Yeah.
they play it at all? And have they played it at all recently? I'm looking at a big no.
I mean, to
So-
be honest, not a lot of teams have played IO outside of hero, like Gaming Gladiators and Liquid, because this hero never appeared until super late in the tournaments usually,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So
and
it's
the
just
other-
kind of been those few teams.
And it's interesting too, because now it's like, okay, you have to think of your own IO strategies, and now you're playing versus the teams that know IO the best, right? You're taking
Yeah.
it from them, but they understand how to play verse and with it. So let's see if this will be a good adjustment. Their TA, Kirchik, is really good on this, so I like that he's kind of moved that one up in priority. He sees this Rubik too, so you always have a pretty cool matchup versus that. So
10 seconds.
sticking with comfort, besides just the IO, at the least here is what that tells me.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I'm just glad we're in a game, dude. I was
It's
just
so
like
long.
getting so anxious. I'm like, come on, please. Like, just want to watch some Dota. But we finally get here. So Rubik has been priority banned almost every single game for a lot of teams recently. This is a hero that looked really good in the last patch. The last letter patch has kind of been getting a lot of favor here. What is making Rubik so strong?
Nerfed of other fours, like all the other big 4 positions I think got kind of hit. He didn't. And I think he's just been a really good hero for quite some time, to be honest with you. He's good to counter a lot of those super populars. He's good versus some of the more populars now if the Clockwork does start coming out and everything like that too. So it's kind of a jack of all trades. He's a safe pick as well too. He hides your draft. Doesn't really show much.
That does make sense. Yeah, he is fairly safe. I mean, his shard has always been like a pretty top tier shard. With the introduction of Tormentors, we saw him kind of get a little bit more of a pick, like picked often, I guess, a little bit of a pick buff. But yeah, I mean, I like it. It's pretty straightforward. It's a fun hero to watch always. Like, I love this hero.
Has crazy potential. It does, and also it kind of like sets. I've seen a lot of times where people like overreact to like this first 2 Rubik and they pick like 5 heroes that don't have the greatest of spells. Because right now, IO, TA, you're not going to get something incredible unless you get traps with Shard. That's probably like the best deal you can get there. And they're going to stick with Comfort. So they really like the Lycan, like you said. It can be very strong versus a hero like IO. IO detests playing versus summons.
I feel like TA doesn't care too much about the Lycan because she can just kill the summons, but... She can't stop the summons from killing the rest of her team, I think is the other problem.
It can get overwhelming though. Like if they they're getting surrounded and ran at by multiple breaks of refraction. I've actually been pretty interesting to see how much TA is getting picked because I thought that Blood Grenades were going to ruin this hero.
Dude, it makes your lane unplayable, right? Like
yeah. So it's just always interesting to see how much it's still being getting picked quite a lot. I really thought even mid game like it makes TA's game quite a bit more difficult, so
wow, yeah. Do you think this is going to be the safe lane TA here? Like you said, Kiritich, he really likes it. You think that's probably just going to be his way?
Usually, yeah, I would think so. I guess, of course, it's always still flexible if they see like a good matchup or anything. I mean, right now they expect the snap probably, so that can still go mid.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Man, yeah, Snapfire just feels like such a good flex hero. I mean, we saw last game, like, it had a lot of potential, but ended up kind of falling off against, like, the Faceless Void and the IO Lesh, but it did a lot of work. Like, it still did some good stuff. I think, like, it kind of overshadowed the Shadow Fiend in a way, right? Like, it was just a better Shadow Fiend in late game.
He did work. I mean, he did the best job out of everybody on his team, to be quite honest with you, so... And they're going to go for... Okay, this is Tide has been kind of the tried and tested answer to Lycan a lot of times. You just park him in front of him when you're defending towers, if you even, fighting him inside a lane and stuff like that. Anchor Smash is great. Same thing for a Kraken Shell, so... That can be a good pick here. Now you did make Rubik better, though, quite a bit with these 2 next picks.
Yeah, being able to steal Ravage or even just the Tendrils of the Deep or Gush, like, a lot of pretty good spells that you can take. And then, of course, Lion. What else can you really say? This is one of Rubik's favorite heroes to get spells from. Okay, I do have to ask, though, because Tidehunter, we've seen... has like one staple build now, which is just Meteor Hammer.
Yep.
Because you can't push him out of lane. Like, he is just an immovable object. Heroes like in the past, like Slark, Ursa, Monkey King, they're not playable. So you can't actually stop Tidehunter from just getting a Meteor Hammer and taking your tower. So how do you play around that?
They might pick one of these heroes, honestly. They might pick something to look to shut down this lane and push him out a little bit. Knowing the way that Liquid usually sets up, I don't think they're just going to send a Lycan down there. I think they're going to look to pick something to pressure and put this Lycan away from that lane.
Take Zai, like, for him?
Yeah, like Zai will probably play that Lycan, and then they'll just pick some... They haven't done it in a while, actually, the Slark and stuff, but they've done that Razor safe lane, right? And Razor kind of ruins Tide. It could be something that, if they want to go down that route...
It's good against TA as well, I feel like. This is not a hero that likes to have a Razor on top of it.
This is a pretty nice TA game, or a pretty nice Razor game if they do want to do that again. And it fits with the tempo of the Lycan. But maybe they don't want to do like the same thing so many times in a row.
Virtus.pro's turn to
They'll just go Monkey King. Okay. I mean, they are doing the addressing of the lane though. So I mean, this is a Liquid tradition, right? They just look to win their lanes, and that's kind of always the case. So they're picking this Monkey King to counter out the Tidehunter.
10 seconds.
I mean, it can even be good versus... It goes both ways, always go back to the Weehaw. Why they pick Monkey King, man, when you're playing TA? So that matchup can go also a bit both ways throughout the game.
Yeah.
I mean this actually looks like a pretty good Monkey King game, and I do not like this hero too much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is like one of those heroes that, like, the reason he's ever picked is because he can be so strong in lane matchups, but... He's also, like, a lot of melee heroes in general are just really item dependent. They're especially non-universal ones, right? Like, you have to go for either a Maelstrom or a BKB or Diffusal, and it kind of, like, one or the other changes your timings pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It is, strong into the Tidehunter. Should be, I'm guessing, Lion with the Tide, right?
Yeah. Pretty strong lane. I mean, you keep the tide alive, you have double disables, so that could
Yeah.
be enough to be able to stand toe-to-toe versus the Monkey King. Could be. Could also, I mean, we could just see the Wukong kind of, or the Jingu thing kind of build up, because they're very good at playing this lane.
Yeah. I mean, Snapfire gives you good repositioning for the Monkey King as well.
If they run,
So-
they could still just be mid-snap though, right? Mid-snap,
Yeah,
soft lane
they could.
Lycan, and then they pick a potential stronger 5 to assist the Monkey King in shutting down tide.
Is there any in particular that you can think of that would kind of offer that help, or would you look for like more of a defensive hero that can just allow the Monkey King to sustain like indefinitely?
Not sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because the snap, it's just still flexible. So
Yeah.
they think the same thing. They're banning actually the TA lane counters. It looks like the DK and the DP at the moment.
Oh, I forgot about DK.
Forgot about DP too. I think that's a hero that's been slept on.
Yeah. Someone picked it earlier. Entity did, actually. Entity just picked it against TSM and just completely crushed them.
They owned, right? Yeah. I think that
it
hero
was like a
actually
21-minute game.
'cause I think we saw, if I'm not mistaken, Liquid did that. Nisha played it one game in, was it the finals or the lower bracket or something?
I think it was finals again, or
It was against
maybe
Nine
it was lower
Pandas.
bracket. Yeah, yeah.
And it was against the TA, so that would be a possibility. If it wasn't banned.
End up getting rid of the Slark. Okay. Interesting ban there. I mean, TA is definitely a hero that can flex between the mid and the safe lane, so
They gotta show which
protecting
one first,
themselves.
though.
Yeah.
They'll show CK.
Whoa. That
Not-
is a lot of burst potential from the CK, I suppose. But
Yeah. Not a fan of this hero at all, though.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
was
This
gonna
hero
say,
feels
like-
super clunky.
10
Huh.
seconds remaining.
I have good minus armor on their draft now. Reality Rift, Gush, TA, Meld.
5 seconds
They will
remaining.
delete a lot of these heroes with this physical. Just, I don't know, CK. Wow, when was the last time I saw a CK?
you could honestly put the Monkey King. No, I mean, like, Monkey King versus TA mid is actually like not the worst matchup for Monkey King, but I still don't think you give that up. I feel like you just go, oh, dude. This is actually so hard to address. I don't know.
This is kind of cool. Like the way VP has like an old school draft kind of built in here. They have IOCK.
Yeah.
This has been played a million times.
You may now
They have TA Tide. I don't need to say anything about TA Tide giving you everything.
Yeah.
And they have a very old school kind of draft. Liquid, they have a strong approach first. It looks like here. Insania playing the CM. They're trying to look for ways to address the Phantasm even from supports.
I mean, that will
Yeah.
help a lot. The Wukong's command is pretty strong this game. Like,
It
if
is.
Mickey isn't the one that gets initiated on, if he's able to like turn fights with a really good Wukong's, it's incredible for them. He gets so much bonus armor inside there. It helps burn through a lot of these illusions, the refraction.
Okay,
But,
I mean, I like this VP draft a lot more than the last draft that they had. I think they actually have like ways to like take objectives. They can take Roche and stuff very easily if they get an advantage. I definitely have concerns just because I just am unsure about CK overall as a
Yeah.
hero. If he gets off to a good lane, I could see him being very strong because the Lycan in the Rubik lane perhaps could be a little weak, but it's Liquid. This is very comfortable for them too. But I like VP's chances a lot more than the last game.
Yeah, I like it as well. We'll see what they end up doing. Like the last pick CM, you know, it is just like a stable lane hero. Should probably help the Monkey King secure some kills. Maybe Lion gets caught out a little bit, but for the most part, I think like you were right. Helps address some of the illusions, some of the kind of overall damage from VP there.
Yeah, I guess
I like
that's. I think so for me, like the CM here is like they're looking to really punish the lane, right? They're looking to really
Yeah.
punish the lane and get the CK answer. Maybe some stronger heroes overall, if in like certain independent things. But I think this, in the idea of what he wanted, like for the lane and for the CK, let's give him cool answers.
I was wondering if he'd go back for his Oracle, to be honest, because like the disarm plus the save, but I like this a little bit more. So we'll see. It is game 2 here of Liquid versus VP, everyone. So, you know, strap on in. Should be a very fun one. Hopefully a little bit of a closer game than game 1. Game 1 was not bad by any means, but it's just, I think it was a little bit too much of an outdraft. This one feels a lot better, right?
Yeah, this one does feel better. I think things could still get very weird and stuff like that here, but I could see VP kind of snowballing. They have heavy minus armor, which is going to give them like a lot of opportunities for Roche. They have the global threat and stuff like that. They just have to watch out a little bit of how they use Ravage, since it's really their only team fight in response to Liquid's kind of faster draft, I could say, in a way, like the way that their spells work. So I'm going to be watching Noticed. At least in some of these fights, how he uses his Ravage. And see how these lanes go. They do have some nice lanes set up. Except for the top lane. I think that one could be... We'll see how the Tide does. This one could be a bit difficult.
Yeah. I mean, imagine you find like an early kill though onto the Monkey King. Like this suddenly just becomes a super easy lane for them to try and just snowball. So we'll see. Like Monkey King definitely needs his levels. He needs to get to that like 2 points Jingu. So another D ward mid for Liquid.
And look at Nisha. He tells him, "Get away from me." Gets
Give
all
me
the
the
XP
XP.
for himself.
Dude. Yeah, last game Zai, yoinked a little bit of it. He's like, hold on, let me just squeak on by. But
Ob's
not
word
this time.
also taken out, though, the CK. They don't split it, though, the same. They do actually split. They don't give it all to him. They split it between the 4 of them.
I
So
think
that actually had a... Oh, yeah, look at that. That actually had an effect last game. Nisha hit 6 quite a bit sooner than Squad because of maybe this little type of thing, so kind of cool.
Begins.
All right. A split on the runes as usual. Just a 2-2, no big deal. I am very curious how this Lycan will play bottom into this IO-CK, because CK is a pretty heavy damage hero, but I think as soon as he has Helm of the Iron Will, I don't know if Lycan really...
Yeah, I think if it's up to the first few levels to see how the CK is going to be able to do, if they're going to be able to push the Lycan out. I don't know if they will, just because IO doesn't. IO
can't
just
stop the
buffs up
drag.
the CK. He can't stop the drag, and then they do have Rubik, which is just Fade Bolt damage reduction does add up in these type of lanes.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right,
Let's
we will
see.
see the mid lane though. Nisha on the Snapfire up against TA. Should have a pretty good. I mean, just super fast level 2 because of the D ward. So,
This could make the big difference, honestly, because I actually don't mind the TA too much in this matchup. I like snapping it. I think TA can get his own, but if you have a level advantage and you bully, then that's where Snap can actually push TA quite hard here. And this is going to make a difference here, this level 1.
yeah, getting that Scatterblast cookie is just huge. So it will have refraction now, so it'll help kind of mitigate some of the damage that's coming out and give himself a little bit more denies. But yeah, I think overall, Snapfire has felt like a pretty dominant lane hero overall, which seems good.
Yep, and here comes the potential drag. It looks like actually he's maybe trying to snipe a courier or something. It doesn't actually get it with the wolves. The thing for the CK though, Kirchik, he should free farm. This should be an absolute free farm for the CK. Maybe FNG dies if he plays like, if he's just not careful. He shouldn't though. This lane should be pretty safe for VP down here. I'm just staring at mid. I feel like there's like a solo kill chance.
Yeah, I keep bouncing back and forth. I'm like, well, someone's gonna die here. I can feel it. Oh man,
He's gonna go for it.
he's gonna go for it, and does take a couple of tower shots though. Just a little bit on the edge there, so Nisha forced to back away.
Nice play there
And
from.
he doesn't have a bottle coming out, right? Like mid lane Snapfire. He's just going for.
He has
or
it.
does
No, he does.
Oh, he has
does.
the bottle. Okay,
Yeah,
never
he's
mind.
got it finished.
All right, he's chilling.
He's chilling. I mean, I can't look away. He's going in again. He's got him.
There it is, baby. All right. I mean, that's. I think all kind of starts with that early level advantage,
That's
right?
actually
Like,
insane. Yeah, it really is. Like he doubled up the wave, hit 2, and then just put the. I mean, now he's gonna do excellent in this matchup.
He gets
He
double
is.
rune too.
Yep, that's huge. Bottom, and they get boxy. Blood grenade.
I mean, with the blood grenade, probably just needs a couple auto attacks. Nice stick though under the tower. They're gonna chase, and one more auto attack will be enough. So
Nice.
a nice chase there. Good find. So I'm curious, into this TA lane, will we see Nisha go? Oh, Little Shredder. I was like, will
Yes.
we see him pick up a point of Little Shredder? And there it is, instantly.
Definitely, it's so good just to break the refraction. You can always get the setup to get a kill. I think Squad will start to recover, but that's a big kill for Nisha for sure to set him up here. We'll see how many stacks end up happening too. I'm constantly checking always with these TAs, the ranged 4 position to get those started. We'll see if Seiyuu has any time.
We haven't even really discussed the top lane. I feel like it's just nothing of interest happening there.
No, not really. Noticed has boots. There's level 2 Jingu now, so I mean it's gonna be a Monkey King favored lane. But bottom,
Yeah.
we're seeing like kind of similar. I mean Zai is really struggling down there versus the CK last hits.
Oh boy, yeah. I didn't realize he only had 8 CS. He needs the
Yeah.
Helm of Iron Will to like really just kind of be left alone, probably. But
Yeah, it actually
he
takes
is
an
still pretty far away.
interesting approach. He actually takes Howl at 2. Usually you don't see this, so they're really looking for damage reduction, I guess, with the Fade
Yeah.
Bolt was that. I swear I never see that. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. And he is starting to pull the wave.
All right, this makes sense. Like this is what we're talking about. You can't really stop this as the IO. The Howl. I mean, it's this CK's hitting for 40 damage. It kind of
it's actually good. Yeah, it's actually quite nice, honestly. I just don't. I always want to see people take Howl early, but it's always like your core and you want the Feral Impulse. It's so good for your lane, but this ability is insane. I think Howl is a pretty broken ability.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes. He's
Especially
gonna
with
hit,
the
and then
nighttime
he can global. Exactly. So.
And they're gonna go for a play once again. Actually, just try to toss him to the tower. Doesn't quite connect there, but all right. Yeah, this CK, like you said, complete free farming. He is just super chilling. What is the build for? I mean, this is not a hero we really see all that often. So obviously, it's Armlet, right, as like your primary item. But after that, do we see like Blink Daggers come out? Are we gonna see quick BKB?
Depends on how much what you're getting out of in the game. Are you going to need to be the one that backline jumps, or are you just going to have the tank? They're actually making a rotation in Sanya bot. They want to slow down
this. This is really smart. And yeah, he is super far forward. The lane just in a really bad spot for him. And Chase, easy.
A smart move. Can they punish Mickey for it? I don't believe so.
They're trying. They are TPing the CM immediately back to the top lane. So he got 17 wand charges in a fair fire. He's chilling.
Yeah, he's fine. Nice move from Insania. I mean, lane positioning is ideal. He has a Monkey King versus Tide. He sees the opportunity to go mid.
Ooh, Nisha? No way, the Scatter Blast!
Again!
Oh my goodness, the attack slow is so devastating.
Nisha, the difference maker. In this early game, definitely him, that difference maker. 2 solo kills. Little stats. Man. Every little difference, you know, playing Universal Heroes, he's got the double crowns. Every little bit matters.
He's 1200 HP. Double Crown Bracer. That is not an easy hero to bring down.
No. In squad, the thing is, too, he's last hitting well. It's just he's getting killed in the lane, so his net worth is showing the reflection of that. He's 400 behind. But as we saw there, lots of stacks being formed. Seiyu, he is getting them ready. They're getting scouted. Seeing some wolves coming in.
And it is nighttime now, so Howl going to be a little bit of an issue. Top lane, they're looking for Notice. The Kraken Shell won't be enough to keep him alive. They do manage to find the kill. Huge for Mickey now. Top of the net worth.
Yep.
Just continuously,
Zai? Looks like they might be able to get him bottom. Should be able to walk him down.
Yeah, eventually, right? You would think so. He's still got a stick as well. The Howl gonna finally expire, and it's just a Chaos Bolt to finish him off.
But look at this. With this move, they're actually trickling 3 heroes in to steal the stack. Oh, this is devastating for the TA.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that is rough.
He's got the Ancients, but you never want to lose out these stacks as a TA.
They will steal the Wisdom Rune, though.
Okay. Nicely done.
Some give and takes here and there, but...
Yep. Oh, look at that. TPing over Zai, who will not find it.
Zai is level 4.
Level 5 on FNG. 5.5 even. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that is rough.
Support's going to be super high level on the side of VP. But top is actually somehow, after all this... Notice might be 5, but he's having a worse time than Zai. After just that one little play that happens up there. He's only got 20 last hits. And they're... I'm going to see, looks like they're potentially just going to get this tower.
Yeah, they kept Catapult alive. Tanked the tower for a little bit. They have no fortification left. Like, this should be
no one wants to go near Nisha. He's level 7 with kisses. Anyone who comes up is at risk of dying.
They have a good ward over on the right side here to scout anyone. And Seiyu, I think, knows. He's, like, hoping maybe to stop this, but...
There's honestly a chance where Nisha could use kisses to farm this. I've seen it before.
Like the Ancients?
Yeah.
Dude, that would be pretty sick, actually.
I've only seen supports do it. I saw Crit do it one time. And I actually was hoping he would, and he did, and I was like, no way. I mean, they're still lingering around the area. See what they think about doing.
I mean, what else? I feel like that's more value than finding a kill on kisses right now, right?
Maybe
only a double stack, maybe, though.
Yeah, maybe that's also... And they have a ward, so maybe they look to fight around it when they go do it. Then they can just use the kisses to get a kill and potentially steal, so...
Yeah.
Probably the smarter move. It's 4-2, Liquid. Starting to get that farm. Notice he's level 5 on the Tide. He goes to check the stacks. That one's gone. And Zai is recovering. He actually is close to having the helm. Even though his levels look kind of cruddy on the Lycan, his farm is actually quite decent.
Yeah. I mean, this is a huge comfort pick for the side of Liquid. It looks like TA will pick up that stack, so...
Has a DD.
If you grab the DD, it should be really easy.
Nice and needed, feels like, for VP. And they do have secondary ancients, it looks like, on the left side. I believe a quad stack. Just kidding, it didn't hit, so triple stack. But this Tide is struggling, level 5.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this move bottom. Looks like they actually want to use the kisses on the CK, who's having that good game.
Yeah. Mickey did come bottom. He's thinking about staying.
They're stalking. They get the scan.
The D ward. Yeah, they did. I mean, this is big if they can actually catch the CK here. You do have reload available on the IO, but who's your initiation? Oh, they do not find it. That is an illusion.
Baited.
So,
Nicely
nice
done.
Phantasm.
Nicely done, Kirchik. And I think that was a tough kill. Like you said, like they got the double wisdom, so FNG 6 pretty early on.
Bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top
All right.
is
Tier
under
1
attack.
bottom should fall here shortly. I will say, Noticed doesn't go for a meteor hammer
not.
this game.
I guess because
At
he got
all.
pushed out, right? I guess. But I don't think I've seen a Tidehunter without Meteor Hammer in a... I don't know, quite a few months. Bali was only Meteor Hammers.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah.
tower
I feel like
is
you don't
under
farm
attack.
on this hero like very easily. Like you can just go anchor smash, of course, but like
You're...
you
you're
can't take the tower.
Exactly. You're strictly a team fighter instead of
Yeah.
an offlane pusher, which I think most offlaners actually...
Radiant's
They're kind of pushing heroes nowadays.
Yeah.
Noticed? They're setting up on him top, too. He could just be dead here.
Yeah, he is in a rough spot there. The Wukong's command. It's only a matter of time. The Boundless Strike to help finish him off. And this Tide is... Oh, he is in a rough spot.
Zai even trying to force a reaction down bottom. TP gets canceled, though, from FNG, sticking around the area. But, yeah, this Tide is
Ooh.
definitely having issues
One
now
of them
mid.
kisses. Yeah, Seiyu, he's just going to get sniped. He needs one more glob to connect. Almost there. Can Boxy find him?
Oh!
Insania. Oh,
Nope.
off the mark he lives. Very nice. Boxy
reload.
with the refraction. They're going to reload in, bring the Tide as well. They have that Ravage if they want. They don't even need it.
Nicely done.
Nisha. It's blown apart there with all that minus armor.
They saw him use Cookie, and the instant
Yeah.
he used it, they just went on him. Looks like they'll find Insania, too.
Yeah, that's a nice one. 2 really good kills. Does he finger? No, he's not going to bother. Gives the kill to his core.
Very nice. They didn't have to literally commit anything. Just to relocate. Super nice play. As soon as Cookie goes out, they're like, Nisha's got no way to protect himself. They full commit on him. They take him out.
Yeah, you got Meld Strike and Reality Rifted, right?
Yeah.
It's like level 4 Meld, so... Yeah,
That's
he went to like -2 armor.
That really
That'll
is going
do
to
it.
be the biggest dream of VP's draft, is their minus armor. With the Gush, Reality Rift, Meld, etc. That's going to give them even, like, if they get, like, even 1 or 2 kills in the early game, they could set up for Roshans.
Oh, FNG.
He's
Some
found.
trouble bottom. Yeah, nice play here from Mickey to make this rotation. Zai just sets that one up.
Need to work on the fundamentals, Io.
He's just gonna go right
very
back to top.
active. I love the way Mick is moving. 3 kills. He's top tower is barely touched. Back to farming. I love this build if he does commit for it too. The Deso build versus Io Lion. These 2 heroes just
So good.
disappear.
I mean,
Very difficult.
CK isn't also a super high armor hero outside
True.
of just having armlet, right? So
Very true. Yeah, it's definitely a really nice pickup if he's able to. I mean, when he goes down that route, I'd imagine he is going to do it. They really want this tower. Liquid, again, mid.
middle tower is
Boxy with
under attack.
refraction,
I like
tanking
it.
tower. Very sick. Gets a Kobold. A huge prospecting aura here.
Nisha cooking aggressively again.
Another aggressive. Oh, nice. Dodge there on the illusion rune. Insania will get caught on the backside. Just gets completely
Deleted.
blown apart. But in comes Mickey. Big Wukong command. Boundless Strike onto 3. Notice you can't Ravage. Mortimer
Ooh.
kisses to follow it up. 3 will fall in return. It looked like it was going to be another
Tower has
kind of overextension from Liquid, but just baited out this time.
Baited by an illusion rune, something you probably don't expect. You're like, oh, we got him. He aggressively cookied. Illusions, resets, they one-shot Insania, and then what an angle. I didn't even see Mickey.
I didn't
He's
at all.
he's being amazing with his rotations. That's a Mithril Hammer now finished up too. 3-man Boundless Strike. Couldn't ask for more from your carry. A risky hero pick too that not a lot of people are going for much anymore. Liquid, one of the few that's still sticking with their Monkey King. Mickey comfortable on it, and we're seeing that.
Dude, this is just such a sick last pick CM. Like, it really just did exactly what you were talking about and just committing to stopping this Tidehunter.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't have this Meteor Hammer, like, Mickey is able to just rotate and do whatever he wants. He's never worried about this tower falling.
Yeah, I think the CM pick had like a lot of, maybe more layers than they even kind of knew about it, because there's one little thing too that I forgot to talk about, but Frostbite versus TA instantly eats refraction. It ticks every like 0.1, 0.2 seconds. So it actually has like so many layers of how this CM is very, very good to set up Liquid for this early game. 2K lead. They'll lose
Beautiful kill
Nisha.
there. Yeah. Nice little rotation top, smoked into the high ground ward. So they'll probably sniff out that ward, but having that kill on Anisha is huge.
Definitely.
Now they can commit for the tower, finally.
Finally, watching Notice just hit it. Like pinging out the potential Roche. With just like a small kill. Might take them a little bit too much time now, but...
He's got the Troll Summoner bottom lane. That's going to be a lot of threat onto these towers eventually.
He just cut the waves as well, too.
Yeah.
I thought this creep was gonna get nerfed too. I gotta be honest with you. I thought the race dead.
Aura?
Yeah.
You thought yeah.
I thought it was gonna have a scale. You know, like a 1, 2, 3, 4 as time progressed or something. But it's just 3 at all durations of the game, which is sometimes pretty interesting. But
it'd be pretty nuts for Chen if it like scaled and then he eventually gets, you know, late game they have like a 6 damage aura or something.
Yeah.
That'd be so sick. But yeah, after tier 2, dead in the bottom lane. So some good plays there from Zai, of course. Boxy just
he's
trying to
stepping up
sniff
far.
something out, and he does find the CK, but he is... Dude, he is playing so aggressive, and VP have got to get out of here now. Mickey jumps forward, gets the boundless strike there onto FNG. The slow is enough,
Too
and a
much
quick zap
damage.
from Boxy. Dude, he is crushing this game.
hey, Mickey is honestly doing so much. I feel like, yeah, I hope they will be
No
able
way
to
to
get away
chase
with the CK, but hey, Boxy
bottom
man
lane?
mode with the Solar Crest.
You know, Lion tried to stall out this push as much as possible, but you cannot survive the shapeshift.
That's why I think they like this Lycan so much lately. Supports just don't deal with this whatsoever. Just gets walked down. And yeah, I love... Sorry, go ahead.
I'll yell you.
No, I just love that, you know, I always like to talk about itemization in types of games. It's like Boxy just rushing Solar. We talked about the minus armor in this game. We see how tanky he truly is walking into a CK and everything, so just understanding their matchup. Nisha?
Oh, Blink Ravage reveal it. Nisha baited by an arcane rune.
Nicely done. They're really punishing Nisha. That's now a couple times that he's been brought down. It cost him a Ravage, but getting a tower and that kill, well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, Tidehunter finally getting something on the map, right? Like, he's gone for this early Blink Dagger, hasn't been able to really achieve a whole lot this game, but yeah, the kill on Nisha is fantastic. We will see Roche come out soon now, though. Roche...
I think for like
Or
Liquid,
with
they go
Ravage being
immediately.
dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No Ravage, they're just going to run immediately up there. And VP, that doesn't look like a fight you want to contest here. So, you got a kill, but you did expend.
There was
Ravage for
a
it.
really cool play that Zai did. So when he was chasing down the Lion, his Helm of the Overlord was getting delivered. He locked it as to not die the Troll Summoner, and then just runs back, grabs himself the Ancient Black Dragon, and he is, I mean, was struggling in net worth really early, right? He was bottom of the 6 cores at one point, and now he is looking very good.
He's owning. Yeah, he's at exactly what he needs to have this game. And then he just, drums, shard. And his job is just going to be run down these supports. Stick on the Lion, stick on the IO, delete them so they can't actually do their job of staying tethered and protecting this CK. VP still in an okay part of net worth, but yeah, they're going to have to be very kind of perfect with the way they take fights around Ravage. And not the easiest game for Noticed. Watching Zai do some emotional damage here. It has the wolf blocking the camp, so...
Yeah, oh man.
He's blocking
I was
both.
just about to say.
He's blocking both Ancients. He's blocking the... Yeah, oh my god. Actually
That
so
is
annoying.
so rough.
He knows. Look at FNG too. He's like, alright. Oh, no camp. And Mickey, he's got all that to work with, so both Ancients blocked out. That's going to be some economical damage and mental
It's like
damage.
500 gold just taken right out of the pocket of the CK there.
That's definitely frustrating. How's his timing looking for his BKB? He's got it with the disassemble.
How do you feel about the Gossamer cape here on CK? Does that feel a little bit weird this game? Maybe you just got no good tier 2 items, but...
I like this item a lot. I don't know. I
think it's really
nice.
good. I just like... Normally it's like the opposite. This game I would take it, you know, if you're against like TA or something. It's really, really, really strong, but...
That is fair. Again, it can't help versus like these Jingu builder and stuff like that if he wants to
That's
like man
true.
fight, right? I guess I'm trying to think of the reason. So,
Yeah.
oh, say you,
Well,
you're spotted.
the Lion's just like, guys, I'm stuck.
Boxy's coming in. He'll
Oh,
take that
boy.
stun, and oh my God,
Yeah.
kisses!
Yeah, why not? You got vision being provided. You can look for more. Does just snipe them. Top lane?
Can't punish
Yeah,
Zai.
he's not going to do anything. Yeah, I mean, Zai's just able to just contribute in 2 different areas of the map right now.
Yep, and he gets godly item this game because it's pretty much all physical damage on VP. Dragon scale.
Is under attack.
Yeah.
Radiant's
He picked up the summon wolf shard immediately too, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's just
I love
something
this
that like
shard.
a lot of people I think undervalue.
I think people are starting to recognize how much it actually does. Oh, reload bottom.
Wait a
This-
minute.
uh-oh.
You cancel that reload, right? Maybe not. Okay, Nikke falling low, but he's got an Aegis to play around, and he's just gonna get cookied to safety. That Wukong's command does some good work. They finish off the tower. The BKB spent on the CK, and Nisha, he's hunting. He wants to
Oop.
find these heroes.
He was actually blocking the TA for a sec with that wolf. He's able to get away.
Yeah.
I must have been miscommunication or something. Looks like they thought the Ravage was coming. Maybe they get Nisha? Looks like they
This
might.
would be sick. Shield Rune did a little bit of work, but he's still... Oh, he actually is out of mana now. There's the Ravage, finally, from Notice. They're going to try and take down Boxy. They got him. In comes Zai, though, with this Wolf. The stun on the backside
comes
does
Mickey.
catch Snapfire, but they've caught Squad as well. The cookie to follow. There's too much damage. Completely overwhelmed by Liquid as Notice now on the run. Will get the blink up onto the high ground.
No detection. Nisha just
Oh,
walks
man.
away after getting glimmered, and now that's their Ravage. That's
Radiant's
VP
High
just
ground.
that was like so disconnected from them. The way the initial started and then chasing onto a high ground, that was very strange. And the Liquid, they'll take that.
Dude, this
Mickey.
Deso plus Ancient
huge.
Thunderhide, right? It's massive right now. That Frenzy is just going to do so much work for the MK on these barracks.
They could maybe just finish off this melee. TA still got 20 seconds.
He disassembled the BKB just now, so Mickey, if his
Oh, yeah.
Aegis gets taken, he's fine. He'll respawn with BKB.
It's dropping.
They'll eventually get it. They're gonna try though. There they go. The Glimmer once again actually just interrupts that initiation, but the Mortimer Kisses are there. He does have BKB here on the CK, trying to bring down Mickey again. Aegis will fall. He'll respawn with the BKB.
He's gonna be
You cut your losses. Oh, he doesn't quite connect on the stun. The minus armor isn't enough. It is. They get the kill.
Oh my God! I actually thought he would be able to get out. It's just enough. Holy crap! The TA's damage.
tower is under attack.
And now a relocate, and they get another kill. Nisha.
Dude, this is huge if they get Nisha here.
Is under attack.
Can they
They've
get
got the
this?
vision. Seiyu just needs to get in range.
Nisha's
Blink
pinging for
cooldown,
help.
but he's like, guys, please.
They're gonna get caught
They're
here now on
coming.
VP. Like everyone on Liquid's coming.
They got vision for the wolves now. There's the Atos. And with Zai already coming in with this shapeshift, gonna be pretty difficult to get away. You've trapped the CK completely. He can't get to the other side of the river now. And he's dead. What a punish.
How does this happen? It looks like they have the connection, but oh man, Liquid, they rally the forces too fast. It feels like these weird like missteps here from VP back to back to back has now just put them in such a weird spot, even though it's only 3k lead. And Squad, thankfully, like he gets this kill. Of course on that retreat from down bottom onto Mickey, but that was very awkward for the CK.
Yeah, Mickey was worth quite a bit of money, but
Yeah.
dude, yeah, I mean, maybe if Io was tethered to the Lion, you might be able to find the kill there or something. Just give him a little bit of extra move speed, but
That feels so rough for the CK.
yeah, that is really rough.
Already knowing, he's probably already feeling too. He's like, I'm level 12, Monkey King's level 15. Like, even though he's got an IO on the back of him here, the CK is not getting what he wants to this game. 3-2 and 5. Mickey 8-1.
Yeah, he's absolutely owned it this game. I mean, Squad does have a lot of potential this game. Obviously, the Minarch's armor, like we've been seeing, is pretty
Yeah.
good. If you're Tidehunter, could you even go back for a thing like the Aghanim Scepter, or are you too item starved for this game to have to go for something else?
I mean, he's just going for cheap items, it looks like, just Blink Halberd. But I actually would like that, yeah. I think Aghanims would be really nice. Anything to enable this TA.
Oh no. Bottom lane, Squad right
Squad.
under a ward. The Boundless Strike box. He's in with the Telekinesis as well. He's trying to get away. He just TPs. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay, that'll
That
work.
works. They used all their disables. I mean, Squad, same thing last game. I feel like he was doing heavy lifting as the Snapfire. This one feels like it's again that he's going to have to do all the work in the world for his team.
Yeah. Insania's blink was on his courier, by the way. It got delivered like as the TP finished.
And VP? They've got Ravage at the ready. Looking to perhaps try to set up for something here. Liquid playing together, though. Looks like Nisha
Going
and
for the
Zai.
Tormentor here.
Yeah,
Not
they
bad.
get the Tormentor. And Nisha has adapted his build a little bit, too. Not going damage. He's like, okay, I got my Monkey King and my Lycan to provide damage. I'm going to go utility a bit. Goes for the Halberd. I mean, never
I
feels
really like
bad
this rotation.
to go utility and universal heroes. This is a nice move. They have a lot of vision still.
Yeah. And Roche, like, will respawn roughly sometime soon in night. So
Yep.
if they manage to just control this top side, find him kill, great.
Or even just like force a Ravage. You force a Ravage,
Yeah.
then you're gonna get that Roche afterwards on the side of Liquid. But we'll find anything. It looks like Squad. He has made his decision of what item to go at the moment. We'll see. Got the Lincolns queued up. Been interesting.
Ooh, they found Seiyu on the Lion. That's big without buyback.
Roche not up for at least 30. So got lanes to address. CK looks like he's decided. It's so, yeah, I mean, the Wolves, honestly, this Lycan Shard and the summons and everything keep everything pushed out. Mick is always there, it feels like, to jump around and join his team, too. And Mick is
Just
continuing to
constant
keep
howl,
himself armed.
too.
Yeah.
Like, it's so rough. Like, because during daytime, the wolf in whatever lane still triggers the howl, right? Which is, like,
Yeah.
what pushes the lane super fast. But now it's just nighttime and it's global again.
Yeah, what, it's 2k radius around the Wolves? I don't know why it's so enormous, but it is.
Yeah, I've always wondered why. Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is full screen.
VP has vision here.
Yeah, it's nice if they can find it. Dude, this ward from Liquid is still doing some work as well.
I'm surprised it's still there. Look, that one gets dewarded quite often now. Is VP? I mean, slowing pace of the game down. They are getting some good farm with it.
Super fast Roche respawn, by the way.
Oh,
already
it's like
back up.
instant. Oh boy.
Yeah, it was almost instant.
Let's see. Do they know where Mickey is? Mickey, he sees the supports. They have wolves coming in to scout as well too. So information's being given on the side of Liquid. VP. Eyes on noticed. This Ravage, it's going to be kind of the tell of it all. If they're able to get the setup here. And Liquid, they're being patient.
Dire are scanning.
What's the target they're looking for? Is it just the MK?
I mean, if you can find him pre-BKB. If not, you just jump into the backline, find Nisha, Rubik, CM, and then isolate the other two. I think catching this monkey pre-BKB is kind of difficult.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's just hiding in trees, right? That's a good point.
Yeah. If you can full commit onto this Monkey King, sure, but I think
Dire's middle tower
it's
is
a
under
tall
attack.
ask for Noticed.
They are smoking up on Liquid. I mean, they actually saw
look
the
at bottom.
IO CK mid.
Well, look at bottom.
God, yeah,
they have
bottom's
to
at the
deal with
tower.
this. Like they're like we
Wait,
have
they
to.
lost the melee barracks too? Like, Rain's almost dead?
Yeah. Like, they need to do something. They're look at this. They're jumping forward
Yeah.
when they see the tide.
Dire's middle tower.
Seiyu still
All right.
alive.
Seiyu, nice shard there. Pretty funny. But, yeah, definitely still dead.
And now that could open up Roche.
Top tower has
Zai's being such a nuisance. The split push, it's absolutely doing the damage. They get information, and they make a move instantly off of it.
Yeah. Dude, that bottom lane's just always going to be pushing because of the melee barracks. But, like, yeah, I didn't even realize Zai just portaled his Ancient Creep
Yeah.
or something. Like, that's pretty nuts.
And he's actually going to be getting pretty close to an AC himself, so really recognizing, really understanding, it's all physical damage. Boxy, looks like he might get punished.
Yeah, that's a little bit too far forward there.
is under attack.
Okay. Can they make a move? Do they know that this Roche is happening to get up there in time?
I feel like they have to know, right?
Looks like
But Tide's mid, and he just blinked
he just
it,
showed.
too, so
Yeah.
I think they know they have the time. Mickey here now as well. Has the
They-
Orb of Destruction combined with the Death, so this thing should fall quick.
They just scanned, but look at Insania. He actually TPs through the gate, puts a ward down in prep just to see if they're gonna make a move through it. The Liquid fully prepared. And
Yeah.
I mean, VP they scanned, but it's so late. It seems like they just they got the memo a bit too late there. Might have been a hard
Yeah.
fight anyway, but giving up a free Roche, not something you want to do.
Yeah.
Setting up for top. See if they can get
the
Mickey.
Hex. Can they actually bring him down? This would be huge, but again, he does have the Aegis. I mean, he's got no help.
They might just be able to do it again.
A little bit of an early Ravage, but Mickey is still definitely dead. The minus
Yep.
arm, like we talked about before, BKB does not help you there.
Wasted Ravage, though. You notice this. It is going to be down when Mickey does respawn, but an excellent hit. They did use the BKB on Kirchik as well, too, and I mean, they'll tip notice.
Yeah, I love that tip. He's like, yeah, good attempt, bud. It's all right.
You had the right idea, my friend.
Yeah.
Although
I
we
mean,
didn't
they
need it.
didn't see the rest of Liquid, right, I guess? So that was more of like, stop some counter initiation potentially.
And if Liquid doesn't take advantage of the cooldown, then it's not that bad. But let's see what they do, because Liquid, they're respawning in 20. BKB is going to be CD, but they know that BKB is also on CD of CK, so they might make a move of their own. But if they don't, then that Ravage doesn't feel bad at all.
Yeah.
If.
All right. I mean, VP's honestly looking
They're doing
pretty decent right now. Like, the CK is super farmed now. AC completed. He's going for the Blink Dagger. And suddenly, like, these backline heroes like Snapfire, you do not stand a chance if this CK finds you.
They're doing a good job of keeping themselves up there in the farm, not overreacting to moves. I mean, that was just a great hit, really. Like, they were like, yeah, Rosh is happening. Whoops, we didn't get there in time. Oh, cool. We found a Monkey King, so nice catches.
Yeah.
And their itemization is also really nice. I mean, the AC, it's kind of natural on CK, but again, more and more minus armor. I keep checking notice if he is queuing it up. So far, not yet, but definitely the potential of that Ags and stuff, too.
Lion kind of having a rough game as just gets found in the trees there.
Honestly, Zai is doing that damage to these supports. The Wolf Scouting has been pretty devastating. And he does have
also
AC
gets the
finish.
Defiant Shell.
And Defiant Shell is one of the... I hate looking at his 38 armor on this Lycan.
No, I can't even see the bonus armor, but yeah, that is a lot.
Oh, it's actually even more than that on the other one. Mine says plus 29, on the other screen shows 32, so... Whatever. Either way, he's like 40 armor. Ravage still on cooldown.
They find CK as well as the IO. If they can bring down FNG, it would be massive. The Harpoon to pull him back. Nikkei blows him up. The CK will TP on home mid lane. And they find more. Noticed here. Gets the blink onto the high ground. They don't connect. Wukong's command. Not going to be able to find them anything.
Alright, Liquid, they did take advantage of that of the Ravage being cooldown. They do find themselves quite a bit. Get themselves 2 kills and a tier 2 mid and force some reaction. So I'd say they're like, okay, yeah, right. I mean, if you're gonna use Ravage like that, we're gonna hit you back.
Yeah, they trade some BKBs too, right? Like CK, without BKB, might struggle a little bit in these fights. It really just comes down to, I guess, that initiation. But Ravage being back, maybe Liquid, like, respects that timing a little bit right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you just back up and force the issue. You know, you're like, okay, VP, like you have to make the first move now onto us, and we're farming on all 3 cores. So I think Liquid's pretty content if they can just sit back and kind of scale. Even though CK and TA are getting this farm, it's a pretty damn good Monkey King game versus these cores.
Dude, Ags is going to be devastating this game if he can get to it.
Hey, Ags Monkey King, Ags Lycan biting the Monkey King. There's a lot of potential for them to continue scaling.
Yeah. But third Roche, we'll see what happens. It will spawn, again, likely in the top lane, but if it is a long timer, it could respawn bottom. Boxy in really aggressively here, ends up misconnecting, but a great Wukong's command.
It's a bait!
Found the strike to set this one up. It was a bait, absolutely. The Mortar Kisses are there. Notice, can't really throw the Ravage quite yet. CK will be able to TP out, and they've left the Tide Hunter. He's now just food for the side of Liquid.
It was a bait. I think he tried to stun the real CK. Either way, though, gives up his life for 2 kills, maybe even a potential third. And that's a BKB from CK also used. Fights overall, I mean, VP, we see them getting a couple pickoffs here and there, but overall, team fights, even with Ravage, just look too damn hard. Io has no way to survive. That's all I'm watching from per FNG. He just gets surrounded.
Yeah, Harpoon here is just so good for him. Like, he has this Ghost Scepter. Or did he have a Ghost Scepter? No, who Ghost Sceptered?
I saw Boxy.
A Lion. Yeah, Lion Ghost Scepter, and it's like
okay.
he just instantly gets blown apart by Mortimer Kisses if he's near it. And there's no running away from Monkey King now.
Liquid has mixed damage throughout their draft. They have magical damage, physical, kind of everything. While on VPs, it's literally all physical at this point. It's all about if the CKTA are able to stick on targets during a Ravage. So yeah, Ghost. It's hard to itemize. Really hard to itemize on the side of VP versus.
Okay, I'll be honest. I love Nisha's item build. I think this Shadowblade is actually so sick this game.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to kind of avoid himself in the back lines. These cores don't have slots. They're not okay. Tide has Dust, but the main two
Yeah.
for killing him don't have reveal. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, unless you like reload, like with the IO right on top of Nisha, like you're not gonna be able to like get vision on him.
Oh,
Another smoke here. They're
wolves.
scouted out with these Lycan wolves. If they find squad, dude, this would be the absolute worst case scenario. The harpoon boundless strike right on the money. He's gonna be able to pop the BKB, but he's on the run. Can they actually find the kill? He's alive for now. Blink up in 1 second. He's getting away.
He's
Now
so low
in
though.
comes Mickey. He is really far forward. Can they burst him? There's the Ravage to follow it up. He's actually just on the tree. They don't have vision of him. The Wukong command does end up falling. And then comes Insania, the instant silence to cancel out that freezing field. CK will fall. Can't BKB. TP on home. And now they're looking for Notice. Another boundless strike, but instantly dispelled there by the Kraken Shell. The TPs coming out from the side of VP as they're trying to get away. Nisha's looking for him. The cookie catches him in the trees. Ends up cutting Mickey's tree, but Notice, you're not out of this one, my friend. Liquid looking very, very strong.
Dominant. I mean, the team fight is pretty much perfect. Boxy dies, but gives his life for the cause. The Ravage clips on almost everyone, but Mickey's in a tree. They can't hit him the whole duration of the Ravage. That was probably the saddest thing I've seen in a long time.
Dude,
I
right?
mean, Liquid just decimate the fight. It was not even close.
For some reason, I thought, like, if he would get Ravaged, it would cancel the Primal Spring, but he just, like, travels stunned through the air and lands on the tree, and they're like, where'd he go?
That was definitely weird. I don't think I've seen someone get Ravaged and just be sitting in the floor. That was actually pretty funny. Well, that was the Ravage fight for VP. They show up with their CK. He can't hit literally anybody. Liquid just, I mean, again, just dominate the team fights over and over and over again.
Well, see what they can do, because he just got level 20 on Nisha now, so he does have the attack damage talent. He is now contributing way more in these fights. Now you don't have just the Monkey King and Lycan damage. Like, Nisha's online.
And now he's got a
the
break.
Silver Edge.
He's got the break for the Tide also, so now they can actually just full commit onto Noticed, even. On top
that's gonna be
of
brutal.
having this protection for himself, they can, yeah. Oh boy. Team fights just have not looked in favor ever for the side of VP. And Liquid just hanging around each other, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Mika's itemization has been Mika's itemization and gameplay has been perfect this game.
Yeah.
Nisha
So-
definitely struggling a little bit, but I feel like Mika and Zai are doing absurd heavy lifting.
Yeah, they really are. Okay, so I got a question for you. Roshan's respawning in about 20 seconds. A pretty quick respawn, again. Do you wait for it to move to the Radiant side for a third Rosh? Or do you
Nah.
take it in favorable positioning here if you're Liquid?
I think you just take it ASAP. On Liquid, that is. I think VP kind of is forced in a position to contest, too. They have to go check there.
They're smoking out. They know it could be up.
And look at the lane positioning. Liquid's like, they're smoking. Mid and bottom are shoving in. Nobody's responding.
Yeah.
Can VP sneak
Zai's
in?
already sending his Ancient Creep bottom.
Yep. I think the call is just sneak in on VP. At least attempt to. You kill it kind of fast with minus armor.
Oh, yeah, they do. Phantasm TA, another meld coming through. Third Roche, looks like it might just go their way. Double Ravage could do some work if you have the mana for it.
Does he have the mana
pretty
for
good.
it? With Soul Ring. Yeah, he will. He'll have enough mana.
I mean, they lost their bottom range barracks, but I mean, that's not the end of the world. It was already just going to get pushing the whole way.
Can they all get out here? Okay, they can. Oh, jeez. Scary for a second. Will this make the difference? An Aegis of Cheese and a secondary Ravage. They have to get it still perfect. They have to get the connection so they can actually focus fire these heroes. Liquid's still feeling pretty confident, pretty strong walking in. A full butterfly on Mickey. I mean,
Yeah, that's sick.
no way to pierce through that. I guess they have a quiver, at least on squad, I believe. Yeah, he has one.
Yeah, he does.
And they've actually passed off the refresher shard to Kirtik.
That
I guess
is
maybe
interesting.
maybe he feels like he needs 12-second BKB to potentially kill people, but I still don't see
Oh
him killing
boy,
people.
this ward, it's scouting him out.
Ooh.
They know exactly where the CK is, but oh, he's looking for the line. He gets the blink. Okay, sick plays. Reload coming through as well. All right, they're chilling. They get out.
Where's that reload coming from? I didn't even see.
Oh,
my God.
Nisha's damage. Forces a quick BKB there.
Oh, that's
Moxie
brutal.
as well as the CM. They managed to pick off the lion.
He might just have to refresh. Honestly, like pop Phantasm, put the refresher in, and maybe that's what you have to do. Because you don't want to just use it for your only BKB, but, I mean, the fight's coming at you.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. You're right.
Yeah. That's awkward. He does have BKB. I don't know. Did they? I don't think they saw it at the least on the side of Liquid, so maybe that can catch them off guard. But where's his damage going to be? How do you kill Mickey with a butterfly now?
He's in so deep. Instant Ravage to pick him off. And Mickey, he is surrounded here. He's trying to survive himself inside his Wukong command. Get Boundless Strike. Does heal him up a lot. And they got him. He just completely crushes this fight. The turnaround is just way too much. And now noticed on the run. Slowed up thanks to the Scotty. The pullback from the telekinesis. 4 dead on the side of VP. He's looking for a nice stolen impale. They catch the TA, the Boundless Strike as well. He needs some help. He's got an Aegis, but he's rooted in place. Buybacks coming through from the side of VP, trying to keep themselves in this side. He's going to get pulled back into the base, and no chance going to survive this one. Foxy with the stolen mana train, trying to keep himself alive, but it's not going to be enough. Liquid punished for that extension into the base. VP will hold.
Okay. I mean, it costs them a lot. It's 2 buybacks, but they do at the least hold. Mickey 1v5'd, just as an FYI in that last fight. Jumped in with his butterfly and stood in the midst of everybody and fought them off. That's pretty insane. But a good hit from VP at the least to get these type of kills, but it's expensive.
Yeah. Dude, he also got Penta Edge. Just the best Monkey King item. Dude, this thing is so good.
Honestly, I sometimes see people hold Broom Handle until like tier 3s just how good it is on Monkey King. Just this attack range on your Wukong is amazing. But that was probably one of the best Wukongs I've ever seen. Honestly, Mickey is making me look and be like, man, why is Monkey King not picked more? I know why, because it's a tough hero to make it look this good, but holy shit, honestly, he is delivering every single time. Nisha's struggling for sure a bit in this game, 8-4, but Mickey is 15-2, and he's got no fear. This is impressive stuff here.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, so what do you do now that you've pretty much bought back on both? It was tied CK, right? So
yeah. Wait for Ravage to come back up is step 1, I would say. It's tough position.
He did hit level 25, actually. So
yeah.
He's pretty dang farm. Finished up the Swift Blink. Queues up the MKB after that last fight, realizing that Monkey King has to die. You can't afford to let him just sit there and evade attack after attack.
He's going to have it pretty soon. He's the saving grace, really. I'm not feeling the impact so much from the CK overall in the game, but maybe if he can act as a distraction for squad, maybe this TA still got some chance in this game. Anything you can get to buff him up, though, right? We've got Solar Crest, Mac Cheese, Pavis, I believe a Telescope now picked up from Seiyu. Anything you can do to make this TA be able to stand her ground. Just tough. Mickey just gets on her every time.
Yeah. So he didn't take the Reality Rift Pierce's spell immunity. He went for the Chaos Bolt, min-max stun duration. I feel like that one's, depending on the game, is really good one way or the other.
Interesting. I feel like I've never seen anyone take the Chaos. I mean, no one plays CK right now anyway, but...
Yeah. I was going to say, against the Monkey King, where it feels like you just need that burst damage, I'm a little bit worried, but...
I feel like I've never seen people not take the Reality. I know the patch messed things up, because you could Reality Rift anyway on it, right? But...
Yeah. Interesting. Well, Cheese is in the backpack of the not in the backpack, but available on the IO. So you do have that save, which is quite nice as well. And they are smoking towards the bottom lane. The Aegis will expire.
He does have a greater healing Lotus too. So I mean, quite a big chunk of healing he can provide if he's able to get it off. Just these Wukongs and the coverage that Liquid's been doing with the fights just make it difficult for FNG overall this game. All about squad.
Mickey is playing so smart, man. He just completely sniffed out this rotation bottom, just leaves, grabs a DD rune mid.
The smoke. They have all the information in the world. Bottom is a enormous wave. Mid's pushing in.
Lines drawn. Circles the map. He's like, guys, we can just play over here. That's fine.
I mean, they have to be careful. Mika has a DD.
Dude, say you might just like die to a boundless strike, honestly.
I think he
I think he does.
I think he dies, yeah. I think he gets 100 to 0'd with the DD.
FNG needs to be careful. Boundless Strike comes out. He is gone. Oh, no.
And they have
telekinesis to save, of course.
That's a tanky IO, too. Very similar to, like, it's not a Defiant Shell IO, but it's a 23 armor IO. Dead just like that. Harpoon, baby.
Oh, man. He also gets the Mind Breaker on Snapfire, which is also probably one of the best jungle items you can get on this hero.
Why'd they buff this item?
Dude, I have no idea. I thought this thing was already so good.
It got moved a tier up at the least, but like, Jesus. This is one of the most infuriating items to play against the supports.
You're just like
Xylos,
chilling and then get
Hex.
silenced and you're like, okay, I guess I'll die.
Yeah, you're playing on like a reaction. You're like, oh, I'm gonna blink in and do this, and you blink and they have auto attack on, and the auto attack hits you and silences you, and you want to break something. Yeah, it's not fun. It's never happened to me before or anything.
Yeah, that didn't sound like a personal experience story or anything. Definitely.
Liquid just, I mean, at this moment in time, they're just maximizing. I see Boxy's like stacking camps. Looks like they're just kind of farming it up. Close to 25, I guess, on Mickey.
All right. I will say the XP advantage that you have on this TA is pretty nuts, but like you've kind of peaked, right? The rest of your talents aren't like the best thing in the world until you get like maybe the 20.
Mm-hmm. And I'm still just feeling like it's squad most of the time versus the world. Even though like Kirchik's score and stuff doesn't look bad, he's farming a lot. Especially now he doesn't have boots, I'm worried the CK is just gonna stand there in the fight and just die.
Yeah.
It feels like it's so much on squad, and if the Ravage connects for him to get the follow-up.
I feel like this 25 on Mickey is just like game breaking. Like I don't know how you play into Wukong's command once he gets to 25.
I mean, all of his Wukongs have been amazing, even without it, so.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're patient. They're just waiting. It looks like 25 and maybe even just wait for the Roche. It's going to be a bit of a longer spawn. How's the buybacks looking? I mean, it's going to be pretty much when the buybacks are back up for CK Tide. Small silver lining there for VP.
Dude, Insania has BKB Defiant Shell. This is sick. This guy, he's like, don't let me die, guys.
He's an issue. They have no BKB piercing, like, disable. He can just BKB blink on top of CK and ult.
Yeah.
And there's nothing they can do to stop it.
He's got Shard Glimmer Cape, right? Like, unless you can burst him with, like, TA or something, he's chilling.
Yeah.
Boxy steals Mana Drain again, which is very problematic.
It's annoying.
It doesn't pop CK illusions, right? Like the old Phantasm?
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
that was
Those-
changed.
Those are strong illusions.
Yeah. Oh, they're looking top lane. If they find the initiation here on FNG or Squad, I mean, it would be huge.
The Wolves, they're giving the info. They're going
Yeah,
in.
they are indeed. They got the blink, the Hex out from Zai, but he is so fast. They need to actually be able to chase this one out, and the damage, woo, force the
Holy
cheese. Nisha.
Oh my god. I actually thought FNG was going to be okay, but he just feels like he needs to pop the cheese.
Just got double critted.
That is a shapeshift that was burned.
Yeah. And that's also the Hex reveal from Zai. So that is pretty big. But you get out. I mean, that's pretty decent for VP, right? Like, you kind of know what you're playing with now.
Small, yeah. And you got a ward down, and you're able to get out and get awarded. The
Problems,
base,
though. Again in the base.
The catapults!
Dude, you have to keep... I mean, I guess you have IO, which is great for reloading into these fights, but Roshan, you know, is the next objective. And Liquid have full control now. They know exactly...
And VP has to like, run into scout. They don't have a trap in there. They get the scan right now, but they're like, they could just be doing it right now. They aren't aware that that is not up. But they have to address bottom. I mean, look at Kirchik. He's like, I need to shove this wave out so far and then take the portal. But Liquid is all set up around here.
Oh, that portal's a death trap. There's, like, it's got to just be FNG bringing him back top, right? Like,
yep.
I can't... Oh, we're just going to keep placing these traps in hopes of getting some vision to play around, but Nisha...
I mean, I'm just watching Zai. He sent an illusion bottom. He has a wolf, and then mid and top. Every lane is shoved in.
Dude, this is so hard to play against. He is doing such a good job at controlling the map.
And now they can maybe start.
You have wave top, you have wave bottom, already at the base again. There comes the Howl. And Roshan now. They actually just fake it. They don't want to risk.
I mean, they have a ward on the outside here. They're maybe expecting them that they're running in here, but... I mean, it's dying.
It will die eventually. Level 25 on the Monkey King gives him that Wukong's ring. And yeah, it looks like VP can't contest this at all. They know there's no way they can start the fight without vision.
I mean, Zai is just doing... It's like Owie. It's like the annoying Owie thing where he's just split pushing, and now they get the initiation.
Oh, they get the Hex onto the Rubik, but they get the Ravage to turn around from Notice. Can it get Squad out? He gets the Blink, but the reload on the backside! Oh, it's in the wrong neighborhood, my friend. Kirtech goes down!
Wait, what?
They reload the backline, but Nisha was there. They find Seiyu as well. 3 dead.
They did not get the memo to get the hell out of there.
Not at all.
They went for the... I mean, they they get squad out, but it costs them the squad. Oh boy.
Top tower is under
You have 3 buybacks available, but no Ravage, no BKB, no Phantasm. They found Noticed in the jungle here.
And squad
Foxy.
maybe too.
Yeah, Squad doesn't have BKB.
Oh, Harpoon.
He said he doesn't want to commit, maybe. I mean, he's
not
got
efficient?
Aegis.
Hey,
He's chilling.
whatever. Yeah, they just want to go with the push.
It's looking real rough now for VP.
Radiant's top tower is under
Squad versus the world with no BKB, a buyback, an attempt to hold.
It's just Liquid applying so much pressure, and not just like map pressure, but like you're getting split mentally here on VP, trying to figure out what's the best thing that you could possibly do right now, and you just make one mistake and they just punish you so heavily.
And everyone's just gigantic on Liquid. Even CM, Insania buys himself an Aghanims, takes the Refresher Shard for himself. Zai has hit 25, so Hal reduces total damage, and they're all physical damage on the side of VP, so even more insult to injury.
I actually just never even knew that was a talent. That is ridiculous. This
This
game.
one's really busted.
Nisha's 25 now too.
Now,
Multi-shot.
all right. They have a butterfly now. More survivability for
There's
Kirchik,
the
but
blink hacks.
where's the damage?
Yeah, they gotta find something here. Mickey
Okay.
still hiding in the trees. The balance strike comes out there on top of Squad. He needs help. The Wukong command, it's way too big. FNG trying to find his way outside of the ring. Won't be able to. They both fall. The buybacks are available. We'll use it on the Templar Assassin, but without a BKB, without a top lane of Ferrex, they all just disengage. They go in the Hex. In comes Insania. This is his time to shine. Goodbye,
Look at him
CK. Dude, Crystal Maiden, the roots are just way too much. Is now forced Squad back into the fountain. You have lost the Lion here at the tier 4 tower, and Mickey will continue to do the damage. Nisha, not going to take him long to take this throne, and that is going to be it. Liquid close this game out 2-0. Well played.
I need another incredibly well executed game and just a clear understanding by Liquid. I think we see this from them a lot. This one, there's definitely some moments there where VP's looking pretty decent until like 20, 30, even 30-minute mark or something, but Liquid just playing the map, and they know how to play the map insanely well. I mean, Zai clearly displayed that with the summons, and then Mickey just jumping around getting, honestly, like some of the best Wukongs ever. The setups were perfect. I feel like he landed like 3-man boundless strikes too many times this game.
Yeah, he really did. Like, Mickey has to be MVP for me just because of how well he did in the early game. It wasn't even just like how insane his late game performance was, but the fact that he was like 3-0, top of the net worth, like rotating to off lane, coming back, like just straight crushing since minute 0. And dude, I will say Zai's Lycan might be the most scary thing to play into. Like, you initially were like, oh, Io Lesh, have to worry about that. I don't think you can give this team Lycan either. Like, this is nuts.
I don't know. Yeah, that micro was pretty ridiculous. I mean, Zai's always been kind of a monster with that stuff, but that was like the AUI Visage kind of annoyance that I saw at Bali that literally got me triggered watching it. He was doing the same stuff. I mean, buying the shard instant at 15, sending his summons through the gate, like you mentioned a couple times. Like, hey, yeah, and that causes a lot. Like, people might think, like, oh, he's just farm. No, it causes reactions around the map. It causes so many different movements around that opens up opportunities for Liquid to get all these pickoffs, all these little engagements that just cause them to snowball out of control in this one.
Yeah, I mean, they get that 4th Roche, and then it turns into a bad fight, right? Because you're forced to be bottom with FNG and CK, and
This
it's
fight
just
was
all the
sick.
Lycan.
Yeah,
Dude, this fight is nuts.
It's just
he
Mickey.
evaded like 4 attacks.
Yeah, it's just Mickey really understanding his power. Like, he peaked. As soon as he got... I mean, he peaked quite a couple times in this game, like his Scotty timing, but then the butterfly timing, that was the GG item. You're like, okay, I'm into all physical damage. My Nisha died, and I'm just going to jump in 1v5. So, great understanding. Liquid just continues to impress as we have kind of come to expect. But I wouldn't, for VP, yes, they're 0-6, I believe, now, but
Yeah,
I think
0-6.
they can at least take some stuff out of this game. You're playing versus Liquid, and you did go for maybe a risky draft going for a CK, but you did make some okay moves.
I mean, both games, right? Like, game 1, they had some really strong early game potential. They made things look pretty decent, but it's just, it seems like Liquid just really has late game execution that is very problematic for them to deal with. Like, it just was so rough.
And it's, at the end of the day, too, it's like I don't like always just blaming that they tried something, but they did steal the IO from one of the best IO teams in the world, so this team knows how to play versus it, and definitely they were trying stuff. They haven't played IO, as far as I can tell, unless it's in scrims in months, So it was something they were like, all right, we got to try it versus Liquid. If we can't beat them with IO, we have to try to make it work. And they try CK. So trying some stuff out versus one of the best teams, if not, yeah. So what can you do?
I mean, it was a good attempt. It was a fun series nonetheless, and we'll see what, Virtus.pro does later today. But we're going to have Liquid's 4th series happening again right here, which is going to be up against TSM. So definitely make sure to stay tuned for that. We're going to go to a short break, everyone, and we'll be back with our 4th and final series of the day here on the Riyadh Masters. We'll see y'all in a bit.